Welcome back to the baseline. And today, guys, another installment of the top 10 great series. And this time we're doing batting stances. And joining me, as always, are Craig and Al. And guys, how we doing?
Awesome as always, man. Thanks for having us back. We are on a roll with these top tens, and I love doing them. This one was really fun because it's an interesting thing to do. There's no real way to quantify it. There's certainly no right or wrong answers here, that we can argue about. It's just a personal opinion, and it's a lot of fun. So this is going to be a blast.
Yeah, it was interesting the way we each took it. I just took it as my favorites.
Yeah, yeah, and same with me. Same with me.
Yeah. Uh,
Because if,
yeah,
by the
kind
way, if we're going to go with best batting stance ever by how it worked, we should probably just go with whoever had the best batting average of all time.
Right, and that's
right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, yeah, kind of like you said, just what you said. I also kind of put on a little thing of batting stance you do in the backyard. Like who do you imitate the most? It's basically what I did.
See, that's
Um,
awesome, and I'm right there with you on that.
you know,
That was a big thing for me. My number
um,
one was the guy I imitated the most by far.
okay, that's interesting. Really, I'm kind of curious now. I want to see how that goes.
Yeah, I can't wait to see where we all land here because, like Craig said off air, I think coming up with these was an interesting thing. We all had different levels of difficulty with it, but the ranking is very interesting because it's arbitrary and who we like, what caught us, what grabbed our fancy when we were watching them, or whatever. So yeah, very cool.
Right on, right on. All right. Well, let's get started. 'Cause I'm kind of excited to see what you guys have. I'm sure the fans are as well, or the listeners. So yeah, let's get started. And my number 10. I just thought it was always uh kind of weird in a way. Al, I know you're actually kind of familiar with this guy. He did play with your team for a couple years.
Okay.
But I got to go with a recent guy who just recently retired. I got to go with number 10 for Hunter Pence.
Oh, yes, good one. Not on my list, but a great one. And the socks really augmented the crazy stance.
Yeah, exactly. Um, don't know how to put it. It was just I always thought had a very open. His legs were always open.
So
I think
far
like
apart.
yeah, far apart. His front foot were like to the side, and like I just always remember him like I don't know. He was just doing like this weird shaking motion with his body. I always just found it interesting because I'm like I don't think I've ever seen a hitter like shake that much.
I'm with that's a great one, Jordan. Yeah, it's funny because I watched him play for several years in Philly, and he did not make my list or my extras. He never even entered my mind. But as soon as you said it, I was like, oh, that's a great one because he looks like I don't know how to quantify it exactly, but he's all arms and legs up there. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like if like a human personification of a daddy longlegger at the bat.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, very
Super
wide
wide, right,
stance.
Craig?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So like I had to put him on there. It just like it's just interesting how like I don't think I have ever seen a guy that wide ever.
Yeah, he's a good one, man. That's a really good one. I didn't see that one coming, and I like it.
Uh, all right. Whoever wants to go next for their top 10, go ahead.
Craig, fire away if you'd like, my man.
Sure. My number 10. Again, this is the stance, not the results.
Sure.
Is Mickey Tettleton
Oh, that's a good one.
because he had his hands in the bat, the bat handle at his belt,
Yes.
and it was kind of almost sticking straight out, like not quite up, straight up and down at the belt, kind of out over the plate. It was very weird. If you guys are near your on your phones, obviously, just type in his stance, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It was very, very unique, but obviously, it worked enough for him to get to the majors and have some modicum of success. Nothing crazy, but yeah, his bat handle was at his belt.
Yeah, man, and the bat and at its most exaggerated, the bat is almost a straight line back.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know, he had different levels over the years, but one of the shots I'm seeing from when he was playing with Texas, it's almost straight back, man. That's a good one. He was one of my guys that I had extra that I was talking about. That's awesome. Yeah, I remember Tettleton, man. I remember
I
watching
do
him
too.
play.
He struck out a ton.
He did. He was an early. I don't know how his on base percentage, but was. But if he had a good on base percentage, he might have been one of those guys that was underappreciated in his era.
Yeah, because he had about 30 homers every year.
He did, man. Yeah, he had pop. I remember. I think I had his rookie card and was pretty excited about it at the time.
And he was a switch hitter.
Dude, he had a lifetime 818 OPS.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's incredible. Oh, check this out. He would be a modern stat darling. Check this out. Lifetime batting average, like you said, not very good. 241. Lifetime on base percentage, 369.
Oh, so he
Wow.
walked. Yeah, he had
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. That's like Kyle Schwarber right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a great one, Craig. Yeah, because I did consider him, but I didn't. He didn't make the cut, but it was an awesome. He's an awesome one, and I thought about him, and I looked at that picture. I couldn't believe it.
That picture is crazy.
That's awesome.
Dude, it's kind of insane. Like like there's some times like he's just standing up straight with the bat, like nothing specific. He's just like it's like if he's just standing still, like just
Yeah, that's a good.
like
That's
his
actually funny you said that because he did look so casual up there. Like he's just like, yeah, I'm just chilling here with his bat at a weird angle. That's
I was Al. I was just gonna say that. It looks like he's just calm.
Yeah, like he's hanging on the sidewalk on a summer day. You know what I mean? Just hanging out on the street corner. You know, yeah, nothing's happening here. Don't bother with me.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man.
Oh man! Apparently, too, his nickname was Fruit Loops, which I don't remember.
Fruit Loops?
Yeah,
Fruit
because
Loops?
one of the pictures that pops up when I looked him up says under it Mickey Fruit Loops Tettleton, and apparently it must have come from his Oklahoma State days because this is on the Oklahoma State website. Mickey Fruit Loops Tettleton.
All right. Well, sure.
Well, I don't know that we're going to beat that nickname today. All right.
Probably not. No, but now I'm kind of curious how you got the nickname.
Yeah, I'm glad we're going to have to find that. When we do top 10 nicknames, we'll circle back.
Yeah.
I love it. Anything else on the Mick?
That's all I got.
That's awesome, man. Good one. Good one. All right. Well, my number 10, and this is one of the ones I'm fairly certain would not make either of your lists, although it's a weird enough stance that it might have come across your radar, and maybe I'll be surprised. Now, the reason I know this guy is because he played for Detroit for the first 10 seasons of his career, but he ended up in Philly in 83 and 84. And I remember watching this. I remember Harry Kalas talking about it, and it is one weird ass stance. And I would ask you guys definitely. I know you'll do it anyway, but look it up on YouTube. Look up on your YouTube the batting stance of John Wockenfuss.
I
Now the
never
name
even
itself.
heard of John Walkenfuss.
Now your life is more complete just now knowing that a man named John Wockenfuss ever walked the planet.
I don't think we're ever gonna beat that name ever.
No, no. And his nickname his middle name was something with a B, and he was known as Johnny B. Wockenfuss when he first came up. So,
Does he get the bat pointed towards the pitcher?
dude, he not only does he do that, but wait till they
Well,
show,
I mean, facing the pitcher.
find the angle where they show his feet from the side. You will not believe how his left foot is positioned. If you can find, if you can pull up
Yeah,
YouTube,
it's pointed towards the catcher.
yes, it's wrapped back around his right foot, pointing towards the catcher.
What?
Yeah, how about that, dude? Now here's the crazy thing: he batted. He played like he had a cup of coffee in his first season, batted 138. Then he batted 229, and then he batted 222 in his first three seasons. After he changed, he did that in Puerto Rico in the 78 off season, and for the next 8 seasons, he only batted below 264 one time.
Wow, good old
Wow.
Johnny Wackenfuss.
Good old Johnny Walkenfuss. Now he was a utility guy who became a second catcher and occasionally a starter. And he was slow, slow, slow. And I found a fun Sparky Anderson quote about him. He said, "He said the problem with John Walkenfuss getting on base is it takes three doubles to score him."
What the heck? I didn't.
Yeah, right, Jordan.
Yeah, but did you guys even also see this? His top hand, he's constantly tapping the bat.
Oh yes, yes,
Like he's
yeah, yes.
like basically you're looking at he's basically holding it with his thumb and just like tapping the bat.
Totally, man. Totally. Yes. Yeah. You see various people
Holy
describe. Yeah.
cow!
Oh, it's so unique and weird, and it's astonishing that it worked. Now, I'd like to read a quote from Saber about this. All right. This
Okay.
two short paragraphs. Um, Neither the okay, so this is there was a an expansion draft in 77 where the Blue Jays and the Mariners came into the league. So just so you have that as background for this statement. Neither the Toronto Blue Jays nor the Seattle Mariners selected him. So Walkenfuss returned to the Tigers in 77 with a strange new batting stance he had discovered while playing in the Puerto Rican Winter League. From then on, he had employed an extreme closed stance that began with both feet stationed at the back line of the batter's box and his backside pointed towards the mound. As he waited for the pitch, he lifted the bat high above his head and wiggled his fingers. "You go monkeying around sometimes." And I said, "Well, this is pretty good. It keeps my shoulder into it and keeps my bat level." Now, this is the next part that you got to hear. This is Ferguson Jenkins, old Fergie, who was on our pitchers lists, said about old Walkenfuss. "That guy better not get a hit off me the way he stands at the plate. That stance is out of the caveman days. The last guy who could get away with something like that was Stan Musial, and there ain't no more Stan Musials. I know. I faced him." So not only was it weird, but it offended Fergie Jenkins.
Wow.
Well,
Johnny Walkenfuss.
that's a great pull. That's a great name.
Right on, man.
That
Thank you.
that's probably the best name we've had ever since we've been doing it.
It's a great name. That's why I remember him because as a kid, I mean, I would have been 9 and 10 in '83 and '84 when he was playing for the Phillies, and I was definitely imitating his stance. The name grabbed me as a kid for sure. So yeah, he's a guy I've never forgotten.
Nice. Oh, good pick. I like that one. That was definitely a good one.
Right on, my man. I appreciate that. All right, what you're number 9 now, Jordan?
Yeps, and I'm gonna go with a guy who we are all familiar with, and it just because I just thought it was weird and how he always moved uh at the plate, and especially before he had bat, he would always face his bat and like go like do this little drop or whatever you want to call it. So my number 9's gonna be a former Yankee slash Red Sox. I'm gonna go with Johnny Damon.
Oh, I love it. That's a
Okay, that
great. He
one's
looked like he
interesting.
was trying to dance up there or something.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good
Um.
one too.
That is a good one, man. It didn't cross my mind, but that's a great one,
Yeah,
Jordan.
Yeah.
didn't cross my mind either.
But then also but like you said, like because I don't think I've ever seen where like a guy do that. But then also his front foot, like you said, Al, like it always just looked like he was like on the tip of his toes, and like you said, it looks like he was just dancing or whatever the heck he was doing. But
Yes, yes. It looked like he was this close to busting into a moonwalk.
yeah, honestly. um, but yeah, no, I had to put him in there. again, that's one of the stands for me at least. I've always intimidated as a kid. Why? Just because it was fun.
Yes, that's a great one. That's absolutely great. Johnny
Yeah,
Damon, man.
and he actually, he had a lot of success too.
I mean, what a
Oh,
great hitter.
a ton of success. Definitely one of the best guys. Do it for both great organizations, the Red Sox and the New York Yankees.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
yeah, it's just a lot of one weird dude and also one fast dude. I'll just tell you that.
Absolutely. I mean, just
Yeah, he is a weird dude too.
very strange. One of the
It,
most odd characters in the game, man, for sure.
yep.
Oh, I got a great Johnny Damon story,
Oh, let's go.
Oh, let's hear it.
personal story.
Oh, no way. I love it. All right.
Oh, okay.
Well, not personal, but anyway, went to a Yankee game and I brought my son for the very first time. He was 5 years old and it was on his birthday.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So we made a sign because we knew we didn't have, we normally don't have great seats, but somehow we got seats that were lower level, but kind of like along the first baseline, not quite the outfield, like kind of level, nowhere near the dugout, but lower level anyway.
Right on.
Close enough where we can get to the fence basically, and scream and yell at the players if we wanted
Quick,
to.
quick question, Craig. Is Damon playing for the Yankees or the Red Sox at this point?
Yankees.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
So we made a sign, and all I did was put "It's my fifth birthday, go Yankees," and it's a big poster board. So we're screaming. He's got the sign up. We're
It's
kind
so
of
cute.
yelling, and it's before the game started. They're just kind of all doing their wind sprints and all the stuff they do before the game. And the only player, not Jeter, not anybody else, the only player who like kind of nodded at us was Johnny Damon.
Ah, cool.
He like pointed at the sign and he gave a thumbs up, and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool,"
That's very cool.
you know. Well, like 5 minutes later, he comes running over and he autographs the sign.
No way.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, how old are you? Your fifth birthday? Is this your first time at the stadium?" And Nick's like, "Yeah," and yeah, he ended up autographing the sign, and then of course 1,000 other people came over, and he ended up having to do a bunch of autographs just for coming over to do ours.
See,
But
and he knew that was
regardless,
going to happen when he walked over to do that, and that makes that even extra cool to me. You know what I mean?
yeah. And the messed up thing is, everything I've heard about Johnny Damon after his career is he's a bit of an asshole.
Really? Isn't that funny?
Hmm.
That is weird. Well, he
Not that
wasn't
day,
his
man.
wife
That's a
on
great
that show.
story.
Wasn't his wife on that show?
Which one? The View or something?
Some reality show his wife was on,
Oh,
and they
oh,
got pulled over. And there's video of him and his wife being completely belligerent, drunk, and getting a DUI and all that.
oh! Wow. Okay, I didn't. Wow, I missed all that.
Right,
Wow.
right.
Okay,
Yeah. So I was a little surprised at that, but anyway, regardless, that day he was definitely not, and he signed the thing, and I still have it.
that's awesome. I
It's
love
around
that
here somewhere.
story. That's a great story. That's cool. That's cool on many levels. Cool, you had your kid at a game on his birthday, on his fifth birthday. Cool, you made the sign. Cool, he acknowledged it. Cool, he came over. He knew he was going to get swamped when he did that. So that was even
Yeah,
extra cool. That's
because
so.
then
That's great.
everybody started coming over, and he ended up having to stay there for like a good 15 minutes
Man, that's
signing
that's.
autographs.
I love that. I think that's a killer story, man. I absolutely love that.
Yeah. So even though he's got whatever going on in his personal life now, and if he's having any problems or whatever, regardless of that, he's cool in my book.
That's awesome. I love it. Great story, Craig.
That's a great story. I like that. All right.
So that's all I got on Johnny Damon.
Well, shoot, man. I didn't know Jordan bringing up. That's a great pull by Jordan, and it led to an awesome story. Good stuff.
The very good. Yeah. All right.
Uh-huh.
So Craig, you want to do your number 9?
Okay, I think Al, you mentioned this already. Um, who did Ferguson Jenkins say there is no more of this guy? Because I know, because I faced him.
You know what? It's funny
Yep.
because I was waiting for my number 9 to correct. I messed up. I read my number 9's quote about John Walkenfuss.
Oh, it wasn't Ferguson Jenkins?
No, it was my number 9.
Well, then that means it's the same number 9 because my number 9 is Stan Musial.
Okay, it's not. It's another Stan. Believe it or not, I have another Stan that Fergie Jenkins was pissed off about his stance, and it's not Stan Musial, which he is on my honorable mention because I mean, one of the most famous stances of all time, and I figured somebody would have him, which is the only reason I left him off, so I could get a guy like my number 9 on, which I'll bring up after we talk about Stan the Man.
Stan the Man Musial, yep. What can you say? I mean, the closed stance that nobody can really have any kind of success with, before or since. Yeah, just so unique. That stance, I, I don't know how he did it. It was just all about momentum moving forward. So he brought that front foot all the way back, and then it was just a complete motion moving forward. It was actually a very sweet looking swing when he connected.
Oh, it's beautiful,
Oh
but
yes.
it's not. It's the if you look at the ready position, for lack of a better term, it from the side it looks pretty cool. From the side, if you're looking at it from his front side, it looks a little bit like Ichiro at one point.
Right, but
But
his
Ichiro
feet
does
are
so
way,
much.
yeah, his feet are like inches apart.
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly. And Stan, man, it's fascinating when somebody becomes, and this has happened several times throughout history, and Stan's one of the best examples. When somebody has such amazing success doing something a certain way, and then nobody ever does it that way again.
Yep, yep.
Yep.
And it's so much a big part of what the icon that he is, that's the picture people wanted. I was reading about, like, when he was in retirement, people wanted him doing his batting stance in the picture.
Yeah, because it's iconic.
Iconic. Yeah.
Absolutely,
It's one of the ones you would know if it was just a silhouette.
absolutely. He could be the symbol, the MLB symbol,
Uh,
like Jerry West is the NBA symbol,
Good call. Yep, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an all-time classic right there, man.
and he's
All-time
an
classic.
all-time great too, all-time great hitter.
He was on all of our outfield, or he was on your guys' first base and my outfield list, if I remember correct, because he's so good that he made 2 positions top tens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, his numbers are undeniable. So
Oh no, I mean if you're just going to make the top 20 baseball players of all time, he's going to make it.
yeah, he was that good. So
Yep.
yeah, and with just a crazy close stance that I've never seen before,
No,
or I've never seen at all, other than him.
right there with you, man. It's
Right.
it's it's very unique. I mean, it is the definition of unique. It's great. That's awesome. Good call. Good call.
I agree. Yeah.
Did
All
you
right.
have him, Jordan, or no?
Oh yeah, I wanted
Uh,
to ask them.
I did. No, he definitely made my honorable mentions.
Yep.
Nice. Nice. That's awesome. I was assuming somebody would put him on the list, and I'm glad you did because I would have felt bad if somebody didn't. That's all. Well, here's the Stan that made the list for me instead of Mr. Musial. And while he was a good player, he certainly wasn't Stan the Man. That is Stan Big Stash Lapata. Now, this is another guy I was pretty sure wasn't going to make anybody's lists. Am I correct?
No, didn't make
Holy!
mine.
Okay,
I
Jordan,
what? Holy crap!
you seeing it?
Yeah.
Okay, Craig, tell me when you find it, man. There's a lot of low crouchers that could be on this
That
list,
that looks uncomfortable.
dude. He was. It's such a trip of a stance. It's amazing.
Oh my goodness!
He found it.
Was he just trying to
how
make the
about that,
strike?
my man?
Just make the strike zone impossible?
Exactly.
He
That
doesn't
was
have
his
a strike
intention.
zone. If it's supposed to be between your elbow and your knee, his elbow's almost on his knee.
Yes, yes. Now factor this in when you're looking at that, and think about all the other low crouchers over the years. Most of them are relatively small guys. Stan Lopata was 6'2", 210.
Gee.
What the hell?
That dude's my size, and I couldn't make myself that small if you paid me his entire career salary.
Yeah, jeez, that's I
That
don't
elbow to his knee, there's no space in between almost.
know.
It's wild, isn't it? It is wild. And while you guys are staring at that crazy stance, I want to tell you how he got there. This is pretty cool. So in 1954, he was on a road trip with the Phillies. And he and his teammate Johnny Wyrostek had just finished eating breakfast at a hotel in Chicago. While Lapata paid the check, Wyrostek ran into Rogers Hornsby, another guy that was on all our lists, in the lobby of the hotel. Hornsby was out of baseball and living at the hotel at the time. As Lapata walked up, Wyrostek was asking Hornsby and his buddy about his buddy. Sorry. Lapata said, because I was having trouble getting my bat on the ball. Wyrostek said, what do you think about this kid? Hornsby replied, well, I've seen him on television and he misses too many balls. You should get a piece of the ball every time you swing the bat. Not necessarily a hit, but get a piece of it. And Lapata was smart enough to heed the advice of Hornsby, try and figure out how to see the ball better. As a result, he opened up his stance and began to go into a crouch when he hit. He got 2 hits that day and then kept getting lower and lower and lower until Dizzy Dean eventually said he looks like a man hitting from an easy chair. Stan Lapata.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you'll notice
That's
a theme. There's some Phillies on this list, and because these are some things I heard talked about by my dad and other people over the years. I never saw Stan Lapata play; he retired before I was born. But this is a guy that I had heard a legend about. And in the internet era, I was able to find him and see how wacky it was.
And I know you love the nicknames, so Stash too.
Oh, big stash! Come on, let's go. That's
that's a good pick. Just by like I said, just by looking at it, it makes me uncomfortable. I'm like, what the heck? Like, it
yeah,
looks like
yeah.
it
Oh,
hurts.
and you're so right, Jordan. And by the way, dude put up an 803 lifetime OPS with that crazy stance.
Oh my,
Well, it worked.
yeah.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Oh, by the way, his career high in walks prior to the switch was 36. The next 4 seasons, he had 58 walks, 75, 56, and 60.
Because there's no strike zone.
Exactly.
Oh
Oh,
my
man.
god, that's awesome. Oh jeez.
All right. That's all I got on my man Stan. So, Jordan, to your 8, I believe.
Yep. My number eight's another Croucher.
Oh, I love
Um,
it.
just because I remember seeing him in the videos of him a lot, and yeah. So we're just gonna go on with a dude who, we always talk about famous stashes. Probably had the most famous hair, and that
Ooh.
is Oscar Gamble.
Oh, that guy's on my honorable mentions. This is a good one.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw this, what happened? Oh, they said that. No. When I first saw this, it looked like the dude was purposely trying to get hit in the face by the pitcher. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I first thought. I'm like, what the heck is this?
That's so
Um,
awesome.
but yeah, definitely crouched, very inside the batter's box, like over the plate. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It's insane of how these guys could stand in that position for a while.
It looks like he should have been pelted on the inside of his left knee over and over and over and over.
That's what
Yes,
I was
because it's
thinking.
yeah.
The point of his left kneecap might be a strike. It's close.
Right. It is very close. I'll tell you what, too. He's with Lapata. Obviously, he's crouched and he's he's bending at the knees, but his back is bent over like where he's like more. He's not as low as Lapata, but hi- his elbow to his knee is similar.
You said it right, man. That's a great description, and you're right. It's the back bend that is more extreme with him as opposed to the knee bend. I think, right?
Right, right.
Right.
That's perfect. Yeah. And I mean, and as you mentioned, Jordan setting this up and offset by one of the greatest throws in the history of baseball.
Yeah. And also,
Absolutely.
but yeah. Here's the crazy thing though, because you said that looked like he should be getting hit by in his left and like his left knee. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was his whole career. He was only hit 12 times.
that's I would that blows my mind.
Yeah. Um. Only 12 times he
That's
was.
incredible.
But
Absolutely freaking incredible.
yeah, I don't know. It just looked like. I swear to God, like I want to know. Like he looks like he had back problems. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
how like weird
How
the
could he
batting
not?
stance is.
yeah. He certainly would have. I mean, if he didn't, he had him by the time he was done.
Yeah, exactly.
And this dude, and another guy who was extremely successful, man. I mean, a lifetime OPS of 811.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, he was a player. It's
Yeah.
fascinating how guys can do so well with something so weird. And if you'll indulge me for half a second while we're talking about old Oscar, one of the interesting side stories to this whole exercise is I kept coming across articles of how unique batting stances have been washed out of the game by the research and development, and just the education of over the years. So there's very few guys like this that are ever going to get through the cracks anymore, but without getting it worked out of them in the minors, if they get that far. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
So the golden age of the wacky batting stance we're not going to see much of it anymore. You know what I mean? There's going to be a couple guys get through here and there. There still are in the game right now, and they're going to be extra special because they managed to get through. But boy, back in the day, there was some wild stuff going on.
Hmm? Uh,
That's a great one, Jordan.
all right.
So
That'd
Craig
be
eighth, or where are we going next, my man?
All right. Well, I
yep.
think I'm eighth, my
Perfect.
eight, and you all know him. I think his stance is going to be on your lists because it is so unique. Like I don't know how you could make a batting stance list and not have it on here. But he holds the bat almost straight up, and that is Craig Counsell.
Yes, I
Yes.
only didn't put him on the list, Craig, because I knew somebody else would, because he deserves to be there, and he is one of the weirdest and craziest things I've ever seen in my life.
There's pictures. If you just go to your phone and you don't even have to go to YouTube. Just go to your Safari
Yeah,
and
the
it's
still
just Craig
pictures. Yeah,
Counsell stance. And there's some crazy pictures on there where the bat is almost straight up and down, held over his head,
it's
arms
insane.
completely extended.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he's He-Man holding the sword in front of Castle Grayskull.
Yeah. By the power of Grayskull.
My goodness,
Hmm?
it
Oh,
is
that's
so ridiculous.
it is the one of the funniest things. I mean, like there's one of his stance in 20 there's a still of his stance in 2015 where his legs are spread as almost as wide as you can go. His arms are straight up in the air. The bat is slightly tilted back, and altogether he's got to be 12 feet tall with if you go to the tip of the bat. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see that picture now. Yeah,
You see what I'm talking about? Look
but
at
there's
that.
even some more extreme examples too, where he's not quite as wide, but he's more straight up and down. His arms aren't bent.
Oh, he's
Uh,
something else, man. Oh, yeah,
There's
he.
one with him with I guess it's the Brewers, where his arms are literally extended straight over his head.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Oh, there's the Brewers. Okay, yep.
Yep.
Oh my
It
God.
just I don't know. Like that just that now that's a weird.
Oh, there is the yep, yeah. Oh, I just saw the total extension one. Yep. Oh my God,
What is he doing?
it's incredible. I mean, you know, and he was on a World Series winner with that stance, wasn't he?
He was on two.
Two. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, he was a good player. It he wasn't one of the he was never one of the best hitters in baseball, but he was a good player. It's crazy that that worked.
Yeah. Um. I don't know. Yeah, you probably had to be very very fast to to have that type of batting stance.
Oh, his quick twitch reflexes must be off the charts.
That like, exactly because like I would have to think like you're doing that. I don't know. I gotta see how you do it, but like you probably gotta hold it up, put your arms down, and then swing because like you can't if you just went full blown swing, you're swinging at air. Um.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, Craig, that's an all timer. Like that could honestly, if we're just going wacky stances, that could be number one. You know, I love that. That's a great one.
Yeah. That's.
And like the only reason I didn't put him on my list, Craig, is because I knew somebody would, and it let me put something else on. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right. Because he definitely deserves. Oh yeah.
Oh
Awesome.
So
man.
that was my number 8.
Love it, dude. Love it. All right. Well, my number 8 is another one that I know won't make anybody's list, and it's honestly, this is not a wacky one. This is one that I put on because to me, when I was in the backyard imitating stances and I wanted to be cool, this is the guy, man. This guy to me, he just struck me as cool. And that was Mike the Hitman Easler.
Oh, I remember Mike Easler.
I know he played for the Yankees for a year or two in the 80s, if I remember right, Craig.
Yes, yes. I had his baseball card. That's how I
Right
know
on,
him.
me too. And
His
I thought he was just
1986
slick.
baseball card.
You say again?
1986 Topps baseball card I had.
Right on, right. That's awesome. That's awesome. I had a card of him when he was on the Sox, whatever years that. I mean, he played for them good for a decent stretch. So I don't know what year I had, but I remember him in a Red Sox hat and uniform. Um, but the Hitman, man, there's nothing crazy about his stance when you look at him. And unfortunately, I couldn't find a ton of. I found one video clip of him getting a RBI in a playoff game. But there's some stills out there. It's just a nice, slick, cool stance. And the dude was called the Hitman for a reason. The guy could hit. He was one of the worst fielders of his entire generation, but he managed to play for a long time and get a lot of play because he was such a good hitter. He retired with a lifetime 293 average, 804 OPS. And he was just the epitome of cool to me as a kid. And
I,
a massive credit to him, by the way, was Mo Vaughn credits him for turning around his swing and making him the player he was.
nice. Actually, it was the 87 baseball card
Okay,
that I
okay.
have him. And the reason why I know that is because when I looked it up just now, they actually have the 1987 Topps baseball card as one of the pictures.
Oh, that's awesome. That's perfect. Perfect.
And as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, yeah, that's the one. I definitely had that.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome, man. Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah. That's
nothing too crazy about this guy. Do you see his stance? Like it's nothing crazy. It's just slick and cool.
looks like a
Yeah.
samurai. Oh no, I was saying it looks like a samurai.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't
Nice. Oh, I didn't hear that. That's great.
I don't know why that came to my mind when I saw that, but it really does.
I love it. I love it. That's great. I like that description a lot, actually.
Yeah, so that's well, no, that's a definitely. Cause I've never seen a guy with like his front foot straight, like in front of him.
That's an interesting thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and then like he's like kind of like leaned back to the side a little bit. That's interesting. I like that.
Yeah, he was just cool, man. He was
Mike
cool.
the Samurai Easler.
Yes, I like that a lot, man. I like that. Yes, and by the way, if you can find a still shot of the finish of his swing, that was also one of the really unique parts. There's a gorgeous one of him in his black and yellow Pirates uniform finishing that swing, and it's sweet. It's sweet.
Oh
if he
yeah,
could have,
yep,
Oh,
you
yes,
see
sir.
it? Isn't that great?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
If he could have fielded, if he was just even a slightly below average fielder instead of really bad, he would have gotten a lot more at bats, and I bet he would have gotten at least 2,000 hits. He could hit.
Oh, absolutely.
Sweet. So Mike Easler, man, my number 8.
All right. Um. Well, my number 7 was taken. I actually did have Craig Counsell on. Um.
Oh, I love it.
So, whoever wants to do number 7, if anyone has
Craig,
one.
go right ahead.
My number 7 is someone who looks like he's sitting in a chair. He's got an extreme crouch,
Love it.
and it's Jeff Bagwell.
Oh, dude, he
Uh.
is my I want to say I made him 3. Where did I put Bags? Yeah, I made him my number 3. Yep.
He
And
was my.
great
I was say.
description.
Yeah. I was gonna say he's my number 4.
Right
I
on.
mean, when you go on Safari and do Jeff Bagwell stance, the first picture, how's he even hitting? I don't. It's so wide.
I know it's insane.
It's the widest stance I've ever seen. Plus, his knees are bent and his ass is out. I don't know what is he doing.
It's incredible. It's incredible. Listen, they traded him for Larry Anderson, the Red Sox.
Yep.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
it's a famous trade. It's one of the most famous trades in the history of baseball. One of the worst trades of all time. And one of the reasons they gave up on Bagwell is because they didn't trust his batting stance, which is understandable when you look at it. If you roll
Yeah,
onto
you look at that thing. There's no way.
why would you let anybody hit like that? And the fact that he stuck to his guns and ended up being a Hall of Famer is a real credit to him because nobody wanted to let him hit like that. Nobody, not even the Astros when they traded for him.
Right. Yeah.
Craziness.
It's amazing. Here's my favorite. I found a great quote from Craig Biggio of all people. This is Craig Biggio on Jeff Bagwell's batting stance. He's ruining entire generation of hitters with his nonsense.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Oh, I thought that was great.
Ruining an entire generation of hitters.
I thought that was so awesome, man. Oh, this is one I knew was going to make everybody's list, but I put it on anyway just because
Oh,
it's so
you
awesome.
have to. It's insane. Cause like,
Jordan, did you have him on your list?
yeah, he was my number 4.
Oh, okay.
Um. Also, that has nothing to do with batting stances. Um. But did you know? And here's an interesting thing: Yogi Berra is the reason why Jeff Bagwell moved to first base.
I did not know that.
So if you guys, even the viewers, if you want to check it out, John Pomorosi did does this thing called the Road to Cooperstown, where he interviews a bunch of famous Hall of Famers. So one of them was Greg Biggio, and they said that Yogi was I forgot if Yogi was a coach or he was just visiting. I don't remember the full story, but they were watching Jeff Bagwell at third, and the manager at the time went to Yogi and said, "Yogi, what do you think?" And Yogi goes, "You better put him at first base," and the rest is history.
Unbelievable.
Yep,
Just an offhand
Wow.
comment from
Wow.
Yogi, and that's that. I love it.
yep,
Yeah.
and
Listen to Yogi.
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wise words, Craig. Wise words.
But
That's good.
yeah, I was even trying to find a quote of why Bagwell hit like that. I couldn't find anything. It's just I don't know why you want to bat like that.
It's insane that it happened in the first place. I don't know. I couldn't find. I was trying to find some info on it about where it started, and I couldn't. I don't know if he was doing that.
It
We know
probably
he was
was.
doing it in the minors.
Yeah, it probably was just something. He's fiddling around trying to figure out his best stance, and probably tried a bunch of different things, and probably had the most success with that one. That's probably as
And
simple as it is.
yep, and it's a running theme with these crazy stances. They tried it one time, it worked, and they stuck with it. Oh, I love it, man. Yeah, that's an all timer right there. I mean, again, that one's in competition with Council for one of the wackiest of all time, for sure.
Oh, well, yeah.
There's, by the way, a little side note on bags. There's I think it's a YouTube, yeah, it's a YouTube video on the awesomeness of Bagwell's pop ups. I never thought about it but I started watching. Do you know he
That
was the
was what?
first pop ups?
Oh,
Yeah, it's the only guy you will find an entire YouTube page dedicated to how great his pop ups are. Um, he was the first guy ever to hit the roof of the Astrodome
Wow.
with a pop up.
really? The first guy?
That's what this thing said. Now I thought I remembered hearing somebody hit the roof with a home run back in the day. I don't remember who it was, but maybe they're differentiating between that and just a foul pop. I don't know. So double check, fact check that. But I did read somebody claim that, but I doubt it's 100% truth. I don't know.
Huh.
Either way, his pop ups are freaking prodigious.
So here's an interesting thing. I just saw this up on YouTube. I was watching it. Uh, the reason he batted like that for many, many years, Tony Gwynn told him to keep it.
No kidding.
Yep. He said the batting stance was from Tony Gwynn. He told him to keep it. He said, but his hands dropping and all that stuff, he doesn't remember. He said, but the batting stance was intent because of Tony Gwynn.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
Well, when Tony Gwynn talks, you listen too.
Damn right.
exactly.
Seriously. That's awesome, man.
so
Ah,
that
I love it.
so that's very interesting. You never know these stories until you look them up.
Yeah, it's so much fun. That's what baseball. Nothing has better lore than baseball.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. All right. So what was that? Craig 7?
Yes. So you're 7 now.
Okay. Now this is one I think, but will be on maybe one or both of your lists. We'll see. It is certainly in the top 5 of the ones I imitated in the backyard for sure. And that is the arm flap of Joe Morgan.
Yes.
In my honorable mentions, tough to
Right
keep
on.
them out.
Right on. Right on.
Mine
Very
too.
cool.
Yeah.
Dig it. Dig it. Yeah, cool, cool. So I'm glad I put him on the list then, because I definitely wanted to talk about the old arm flap. This was, it was one of the most recognizable things ever. It's funny because I always thought he was pumping himself up. I took almost like remember Nike Airs?
Yeah, oh yeah, I do. I had a pair.
Right on. And it was a D Brown, I think, won the NBA dunk contest when he famously pumped them up and then slammed the dunk. But I always took it as he was pumping himself up when I was a kid, but the actual thing was it was an arm flap. He was flapping his wings, and I found a quote from where this came from. Uh, the arm flap came early in his career with Houston. He had trouble with his swing, kept his back elbow too low. Teammate Nellie Fox suggested he should flap his arm like a chicken to keep that arm up, and he did it ever since.
Wow. I guess when Nellie Fox talks, you listen too.
Yes. Yeah. Running theme. Listen to all time greats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. The
Uh,
arm flap. Yeah, I'm seeing it now.
I loved it, man. And it's funny because just as a kid, like I said, I took that as he was pumping himself up, you know, and it's just funny to see what it actually was, over time. But yeah, that was iconic to me, and Morgan
No,
is
absolutely. I on the things I was looking at, his batting stance was mentioned quite a bit.
right on. Oh, and by the way, extra side fun note about the batting stance of Morgan. He played, and wait, let me make sure I'm right about this. Dang, hold on. I think I'm right. Let me just double check the years of Johnny Walkenfuss. Yes, you in '83, you could enjoy the stance of Walkenfuss and Morgan on the same field for the same team.
Wow.
Because Morgan was on the Wheeze Kid Phillies teams that lost to the Orioles in '83 in the World Series.
So two people on the list are on the same team.
Yes, and I was watching them as as a 9-year old and imitating them in the backyard. So they had to make my list all these years later.
Nice.
Love it. All right, man. That's it for me at number 7 with Morgan.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go from to an arm flap to a guy who just looked like he was just laying the bat down. I'm gonna go with Rod Carew as my number 6.
Love it. I think I put him number 2, Jordan. Yes, I did. Number 2 is Rod Carew for me. One of the coolest looking stances of all. He just looked cool. He looked like he owned the bat. Like the bat looked more in his control and balanced and dangerous in his hands than anybody to me. I just love that freaking stance, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's an all-time great.
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely. It worked as effectively as about any stances anybody's going to have on this list, you know?
I think I said it before. Don Mattingly's all-time favorite player.
Oh, I forgot about that. You did when we were talking going over our list. Yes,
You know.
absolutely. Well, Donnie Baseball had great taste.
You know what the thing was too. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm only saying that because one, this is a personal experience. I would always struggle at the plate, like when I was playing little league and all that stuff.
Hmm.
And I remember my dad telling me, he's like, just try to do it because he's like, I was always late. I never had timing. I was just, but I'm 27 now. I still don't have timing. Um, but Um, but yeah, my dad did that. And I remember I tried to do that in batting practice, and like this is how much the game has changed, even for people who are not in professional baseball. I remember I did that. I remember I actually hit the ball, and the coach, uh, who apparently wasn't paying attention, finally paying attention, and it's like, no, you can't hit like that. He's like, it's never gonna work.
Tell that to Rod Carew.
That's what I said. I said, he's like, you're not gonna be as fast. And I remember telling him, and I think I got benched this game. I said, well, Rod Carew did it.
Yeah. See? That's, I that's what I'm talking about too. That's what I was talking about earlier is that kind of stuff getting coached out of the game even at that level. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Absolutely, it's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we
So,
lived through we were around for the tail end of that era, and it was a cool thing to live through because the
yeah,
uniqueness of the stance was so much fun, and just trying to watch these guys trying to figure it out from game to game, week to week, year to year, Beautiful.
yeah, yeah. But because now, I heard this this morning on the MLB Network. It's all about bat speed now. Like everyone wants to try to have the fastest bat speed. Why? Who cares? Like honestly, who cares? Just hit the ball. Stop trying to hit for a home run. Just do.
Well,
Just play baseball.
that's why the shift worked so well is because nobody could actually really hit.
Exactly.
But yeah,
That's
right.
exactly right. Yep. I would sit there with that shift on and just be like, just hit it down the left field line. Just hit it down the left field line.
But the thing is, they couldn't.
They couldn't.
That's why they didn't do it because they couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Yep.
crazy. It's a glaring hole in the game, and it'll bounce back to a certain point at some point. I hope, and I can't wait to see it.
Right. Well, now that the shift is a banned, it doesn't really even matter anymore.
Yeah.
Yes, but everything goes in cycles in baseball. Steals are back. Didn't think that was going to happen. So at some point, they're going to value the ability to control your bat again.
I hope so.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean,
Me too.
Luis Arias has a place in the game.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Now there were 70 of him 3 decades ago. There's only one of him now. oh,
uh,
oh, so where the heck are we? What just happened?
so
Right. Oh, Rod. Oh, I have a great quote on Rod Carew, man. You ready for this one?
yep.
All right. So, um, this is on his relationship with Nolan Ryan over the years. All right.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
Nolan Ryan struck me out. This is a quote, direct quote from Rod Carew. Nolan Ryan struck me out 29 times. I'm top 3 all time on his K list. He threw a high fastball that was hard to resist. I changed my whole stance to overcome it and ended up hitting 300 off him. I crouched down because his lower fastball flew straighter at that height. He eventually yelled at me to stand up. I didn't.
Wow.
I can't
Ryan,
believe I never
Ryan,
heard that before. How awesome is that?
I never heard that before, but it's not surprising. Ryan, with that bulldog mentality, I could
Yes.
totally see him yelling at people. Will you just stand up?
Yeah, totally, man, totally, 100%. And Carew just being like, "Nope,
Yeah.
figure it out, big man." and
Man,
That's
uh,
awesome.
and one other quote that has nothing to do with his batting stance, really, but it was just a fun quote I found while looking up Carew batting stance stuff. You remember the old player I'm sorry, yes, Alan Bannister.
yep.
Okay, so he said about Rod Carew, he's the only guy I know who can go 4 for 3. I thought that was a fun quote. Oh, shoot. Yep, Rod Carew, man. I mean, to me, it's between like maybe him and Ichiro for coolest looking batter of all time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. All right. So who was that? Whose was that and what number?
That was my number 6.
Okay, Craig.
This is funny. You just mentioned him.
Oh, I love it.
Number 6 for me is Ichiro.
Love it. And he's on the outside looking in for me because I thought somebody would put him on the list. I'm glad you
And a
did.
lot of this is before the pitch when he pointed the bat at the pitcher.
Yes.
That was intimidating, I think, and I love that.
Yes. The adjusting of the uniform.
Yep, and then the bat straight at the pitcher before he went into his stance.
Yep, yep. No, I love it. He's one of the all timers for me. Yeah, as you can tell from what I said about him and Carew. To me, if I were the epitome of cool, you know.
Yep, and just no, obviously one of the best hitters of all time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Did he make it for you, Jordan, or where was he for you?
No, he was an honorable mention as well.
Yep, absolutely. Right on, right on. Very cool. Yeah,
And for
man.
me, it was between him and Carew, and I have Carew on the outside looking in.
Right on, and that's
Wow,
understandable
nice.
because they're the two. They're in the same category to me. They are just
Yeah,
slick all day long.
me too. So that's why I figured I'd just pick one.
I love it, and that's kind of what I did too. And yep, that's great. I love it. Good
Yep.
stuff. Freaking Ichiro, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I love Ichiro.
The cannon for the arm, the all around player, MVP and Rookie of the Year the same year.
Yeah,
Yep.
right, right.
And
Delivering
what do you have? You had 3,000 hits here and like over 2,000 in Japan, I think.
something
Something
like
like
that, something
that.
insane.
Yeah, craziness.
Absolutely. And delivering on the move from Japan, which was far from a given back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Far
absolutely.
from a given. And not only did he deliver, but he became one of the best players in baseball of all time. Incredible. In MLB. That's
Yep.
wonderful. Wonderful.
So
All
that's my
right.
number 6.
Wonderful. Good stuff. So, okay, this is perfect actually, because my number 6 is another one I'd be stunned if he made even either of your honorable mentions, because we just hit two of the most aesthetically pleasing batting stances in the history of Major League Baseball and the history of the game itself. This next one is all angles and awkwardness. And I love this guy. His, I think, 83 season is one of my, I think it's 83 or 85. I forget. One of the two is one of my favorite seasons of all time by any player ever. And his stance has been described as unconventional and uncoachable. It's been compared to holding a toothpick and to having an unusual, almost painful look. And that is the man known as E.T. Willie McGee.
Willie McGee, yes, he looks like ET as well.
Yes.
Weird
And by the
looking
way,
dude.
quick sidetrack while you guys are finding his batting stance. Howard Cosell gave him the nickname E.T. during the 82 NLCS. And apparently Willie McGee hated it. Absolutely hated it. And he said about it, Nobody should be able to change your name. It's almost like changing your life.
Well, you know what? Stop looking like ET then,
I know.
because you
And
look
stop
like him.
taking
I'm
it so
sorry.
seriously. Stop taking it so seriously.
Yeah, that is a pretty unique stance too.
It's
The
so weird, man. It is so weird. It's all angles and oddity, you know? And he just he had this look on his face that was just so odd and fascinating and different. And he was just one of a kind, man. One of a kind, old Willie. And apparently he was one of those guys, a million people tried to change his stance and he just stuck to it and became a very good major league ball player. Um
Didn't he get traded in mid-season or something, and was like the top hitter in both leagues, but he didn't qualify?
There was something like that. Yes, it was because he had 120 games in one league, and I forget how that worked exactly, Craig. But you were right. There is something there.
He won
Uh,
the batting title in one league, got traded. You know, he had enough at bats in the first on the first team in the first league where he won that batting title, but got traded to the other league and had the highest average from when he got there on. So he would have won it if he had qualified in both leagues.
you're right, and I can't remember what year it was. I was trying to find it desperately as you're talking here, and I'll have it in a sec. Because all we need to do is baseball reference, see what year he got traded. Yeah, that would have been 1990. He batted 335 with the St. Louis Cardinals in 125 games, so he had enough at bats to win the thing. I don't think he just batted 274 in Oakland then, so I guess it was just winning the title while he wasn't in the league anymore. Maybe that was the standout thing. Yeah, the amazing year too. The other amazing year he had was 85. He batted 353.
Yeah, he was a good batting average guy.
He really was. He was a unique player. He was super fast. You know, he was stealing 56 bases when Vince Coleman was stealing 130.
Yep.
um, and just he was one of the just a fascinatingly odd character, odd looking guy. Just everything about him was different, and it jumped off the screen at me as a kid. And I never tried to mimic that thing because how in the world could you mimic that batting stance, man? It's impossible.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you know he was a Yankee coming up? He was traded by the Yankees to the Cardinals before he ever played in the majors
Yes, I did. Being a Yankee fan, they mentioned that a few times.
for Bob Sykes, who never pitched in the majors again and had a minus .1 WAR when they traded for him.
Career batting average of 295.
Yeah, he was a real
Yeah,
deal.
you were right about that 274. Maybe it was the combination of both, where he would have won it in both leagues.
Maybe that's what it was,
For
Craig.
the
That could
season,
be
he
it right
batted
there.
324, and that would have been the American League and National League batting
That
title.
makes sense right there. I bet that's it.
Yeah, something like that. I knew it was something when he got traded with the batting average in both leagues, but whatever it was, doesn't matter. He did get it in the National League, like you said, and yeah, really good all around player. I mean, he had how many steals did he end up with? He had
Uh,
352 steals.
yeah, man, he was a legit threat on the base. He was the number two threat when the Cardinals were one of the greatest base stealing teams of all time. Vince Coleman
Over
was a number one, but Willie was number two for sure.
over 1,000 runs, over 2,200 hits.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Willie almost made my honorable mentions when we did the outfielder list, but there are because I have a thing for Willie, but there are so many damn good outfielders I couldn't do it. But he was one of my favorite players ever. I always love watching Willie play.
Yep.
Love it. So
Okay,
that's my number 6.
Jordan, you're number 5.
all
Done.
right. Number 5. Guy we're all familiar with. I am hoping he made your uh list. Man, I can't think of the word. But maybe he didn't. I'm gonna go with Gary Sheffield as my number 5.
He's my number 4.
Love it. Another one I left off only so I could get other people on because I knew we would make at least one of your lists. And absolutely one of the wildest of all time. Just violent aggression.
I was just going to say that's the word I use when you watch Gary Sheffield play. Violent swingers.
Yes. Yes.
So violent, so much movement. I don't know how he got his timing down with that bat swinging back and forth the way he did, but he always got it right
Yeah.
Amazing.
Um.
and hit the loudest screaming fly balls I've ever seen in terms of foul balls. Foul balls.
Wow. I never
He
saw him
would
play in
pull.
person, I don't think.
He would pull. If you were down the third base line, you had to keep your eyes open because that guy would put just absolute screamers into foul territory, into the stands, harder than anybody I've ever seen.
Man. Wow. Wow. Yeah. That
What
dude. Whew,
real quick too? What's
please.
crazy about the swing too, and the violent swing, is as he's tilting the bat back and forth, he actually brings it a little like he's tilting it, but he's tilting it not back before the swing so he can swing through. He tilts it forward and then brings it back again as the pitch is coming.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, like if you see him swing and hit the ball right
Yep.
before he hits, the bat's pointing towards almost the pitcher,
Yeah.
or at the very least, it's on the top of the tilt that he does.
Yeah, man. No doubt. No doubt. Just if you just gave a that his bat to an average person and said, try and do what he's doing, half of the people out there would just break their wrists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's crazy what he does. It's
Yeah.
absolutely insane. And the fact
Oh.
that he became one of the best power hitters ever is amazing.
Oh yeah. I know. Like I noticed too. Like he also changed his stance. Like when the time, obviously when he was younger, he was kind of like crouching down and doing it. But then
Hmm.
I realized like his years with the Yankees, Tigers, and the Mets, he kind of just was like making himself stand up a little bit. But
yeah, he
still,
got out of the crouch.
yeah, but it's still dominant. And hopefully we'll see it again soon because I know his son is doing the batting stance.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, his
Man.
son is doing the bat swing tilting. What is that called? The bat
The
shake?
waggle?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know his son's doing that.
Yeah.
I
Which
always
is
like the word
interesting.
waggle.
Which is interesting because I heard the story. His son came up to him and said, "Dad, I want you to teach me your batting stance." So
Well,
Man. I mean, what a
very,
source.
very interesting. But yeah, Gary Sheffield. That's my number 5. I had to put on there. It's
Where did you say he was for you, Craig?
my number 4.
Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, they're him, Ichiro, and Council were ones I knew were going to make the list that I left off that are honorable mentions because and you guys did not disappoint. Thank you, because I would have been mad at myself if they hadn't been on your list. Oh man, I love it. Awesome. So where are we now?
We're
uh,
on to, is it me?
yes, you're number 5.
Okay.
Okay. My number 5. Hold on one second.
Hmm.
I stupidly walked to go refill my coffee cup.
No worries.
Okay, I'm back. Oh, well, I this is just on the uniqueness. I mean, he was a good player too, but I think the most unique one, other than maybe my number one, but I don't know. This is pretty unique. Tony Batista.
That is the fourth guy that I didn't put on the list, hoping somebody else would. And he was he started as my number 3. And then he eventually worked his way to the honorable mentions. But one of the craziest stances of all time and one of my favorite.
He's literally facing the pitcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both
Belly
feet,
button at pitcher. Yes.
both feet. Like he's showing it. The pitcher can see his chest. Like he's looking. He's just straight at the pitcher.
Yes. Yeah.
It's insane how he was able to get back and then get into a proper position to swing out of that. His foot, his left foot was like I, just look up his stance and look at his left foot.
I know, man. I'm getting it now. It's so awesome.
His left foot, how?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's his, his left foot is
Just facing the pitcher, pointing
Yeah.
at the
yes, like
pitcher, but it's on the side. It's next to him. It's not in front of him. It's next to him.
there's there's no part of the front of his body that is not facing the pitcher.
Even his right leg.
Yes, yes. It is, and there were much like Craig Counsell, there were variations over time with him,
Right, but
and the many variations of Tony Batista, and they were all wacky. And again, dude could hit.
yeah, oh, yeah, he had a very nice career.
He really did. He came out of nowhere with that freaking stance and just started plowing the ball.
I mean, there when you go to your Safari and just look it up, the second picture is him. I think it's with the who is it?
Did the Blue Jays?
Looks like the Orioles, and it's got just like a white box and in black lettering says Tony Batista. It's from Instagram, I guess, but I just found it on
Oh, I
Safari.
see it. I see it.
Oh,
Tony
yeah.
Batista stance. Do you see this craziness?
Yeah.
That is, oh my goodness, man. I
That's
mean,
yeah. Like I don't. I can't.
I can't get enough of this guy's stance, man. It's wild.
No, it is wild.
How did he have the success he had with that craziness?
I don't know, man.
I
I don't know. I
yeah.
mean, this dude had seasons of 31, 31, 32, and 41 home runs, and two other seasons that he had 26. So tons of success with that freaking stance, man. Incredible. Yeah, that thing is bonkers, man. I'm so glad I was waiting for it to come up, and I knew it would eventually, and I'm so glad it did because it's one of my favorite weird ones.
It's definitely a weird one because like even when like the pitcher is set, he's still in that stance, but he just moves the top half of his body. Like I don't get it.
And the way he holds
But
his. Sorry, Jordan. Go ahead, please.
I was
No, I
saying
was just
in his career, he also had over 200 career home runs. I'm like, I don't think I could be able to do that.
no. I don't think anybody else could do that. I don't remember anybody facing the pitcher to that extreme measure and
No,
having any kind of success.
no. We talk about unbreakable things a lot on this podcast, and I would bet everything I own and everything I will ever own that nobody will hit 200 home runs with their belly button facing the pitcher ever again.
No. And here's I just looked this up. Here's his reasoning for doing it. He said, "I tried to do something different.
Yeah,
And
real
right away,
different.
Mission accomplished.
yeah, and right away I got hit with that kind of stance. So it's been working for me.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what happens. That's what we've been saying is they try something wacky, and as soon if it works, they just stick with it, and that's all
Yeah,
there
man.
is to it.
It's like Happy Gilmore's golf swing. It's like, oh, I tried it one time while some movers were joking around with me, and I just did it forever.
Yep.
Man, what a. I mean, it is just a treat to watch. It is. It's so weird. The way he holds the bat, too. Like it's like right in front of his face, kind of. And
yeah.
he's like, here it is. Here's the bat. Here's the bat handle. Look at it. Check out the knob.
Oh man,
Oh, good one. Freaking great. I love it.
that's awesome. Oh,
All right.
that
So
So your number
what was
five.
that? For
that was Craig's 5.
Craig's 5. Okay, so I couldn't wait to get to my number 5. This is going to be fun. And I'm curious. I don't know if he would have made any of your lists. I'm not sure. Another guy I watched play in Philly for a few years. He had one of the greatest catches in the history of the game, at least as far as leaving his own face on the fence, and that is Aaron Rowand. Now, his batting stance has come to be affectionately known as the drunk. Now, I don't know if you guys ever really got a good look at this thing when he was it was at its craziest. Do you guys know what I'm talking about at all when I bring up Aaron Rowand's batting stance?
Not at all.
Okay, so I want you to look up something if you can. If you can go to YouTube and look up Aaron Rowand's bat handling.
What the hell is this?
Oh, you're finding it. I see. Okay, good.
Oh, it. I'm
It looks like
not
he's doing
gonna.
a dance.
Yes. Now look where he's holding the bat. Also,
Yeah.
it's right on the cup, ladies and gentlemen. To be PG about it. All right.
Thank you,
Um.
Alex. I could not find a PG version.
Yeah. I had a night to think about it after I put this on the list. um. So
What?
yes. So the knob of the bat is on his cup. He is extending the bat almost straight forward, maybe at a slight up tilt, and he kind of leans back and weaves back and forth. And somebody just found the video because I can hear the 70s porno slash funk music that they put in this video. Now, if you're checking out this video, there's a point. It's just great the whole way through. Somebody put Aaron Rowan's crazy freaking swing to funk music, and it's awesome. But if you go
I
to
just sent you guys a video I found.
oh, good. I'll check that out. Go to a minute and 10 seconds and watch the guys in the crowd starting to mimic his swing.
Wait, what's the video I'm looking for?
Aaron Rowan's bat handling. Oh wait, I had the wrong spot. There's a better spot for the crowd stuff. Where the heck is it?
It was at Hold on. I was just looking it up.
You found it?
Um. Oh my God, where is it? 44 seconds. Go to
That's it. Thank you, Jordan. Yes.
All right, let's see.
like what the hell? Like what the hell?
You saw Craig found it. Look at that! It's like a bunch of like drunken
Yeah.
Shaolin monks from old
There's all
kung
the
fu
crowd, the
movies.
people in the crowd.
Yeah, there. That's what I was talking about. That's awesome.
Wow,
How funny is that?
that's a great pull, though. I'll tell you, that is a great pull.
Oh man, it was because he spent a couple years in Philly. And by the way, side note about Aaron Rowan, if anybody out there doesn't remember or didn't see the catch he made for the Philadelphia Phillies on May 11th, 2006 against the Mets, look it up. Pause, look it up right now, and then come back and listen to the rest of this because it is a it's the catch itself is great, but what makes it even extra amazing and will live in Philly lore forever is that he didn't have time to protect himself when he made the catch, and he face
Oh,
planted right against the wire mesh fence in center field at Citizens Bank Park. It is
I think
unbelievable. He had to be helped off the field with his face gushing blood.
I'm
I know what
watching
you're
it
talking
now.
about.
It's
I
one
think
of the, it is a Philly catch too. You know what I mean? Like it is it is the kind that makes you a legend in Philly forever.
Oh man,
Yep,
yeah. I know which one you're talking about. Al.
right on. It is dramatic and incredible.
wow.
um yeah. So that was one I figured wouldn't be on most people's radar because he didn't do it his whole career. It got more and more exaggerated, I think, as his career went on. But he was doing it to some degree in Philly, and then really got crazy when he got to San Fran. So it's a fun one. Aaron Rowan, my number 5.
That's a great one.
Thanks, man.
That's a
Oh,
good.
I didn't see this video you sent though.
Yeah, it was just his batting stance at the plate.
Oh,
It
that's perfect. Oh, that's a great one. It's a it's so weird. Yeah. Oh, anybody listen to this? If you're not familiar, definitely look this up because it is one wacky
It
freaking
looks like
thing.
it just looks like he doesn't care. He's like, I'm not a good player. I'm just good. Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. He's like, I tossed a few back in the dugout. I may or may not be drunk.
yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh, it's good.
Oh, that's funny.
All right. Next is Jordan's 4, I believe, right?
Yes.
Uh, no, my 4 was taken. I had Bagwell.
Okay.
My four was taken. I had Sheffield.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm curious to see if this guy made anybody's list. We're going in the Wayback Machine here, and this guy was on my greatest outfielders of all time list. And He was one of the most dramatic leg kick and load type batting stances in the history of baseball, and arguably the most effective. I don't know anybody else that is off the top of my head. Maybe somebody else does, but yeah, it almost has to be the most effective. And that is Master Melvin Mel Ott.
Ah,
Now there is a video, believe it or not, out there that's it's if you look up Mel Ott swing description. I don't think it was on YouTube. I think I just Googled it. It is unbelievable the amount of leg kick that's going on in this guy's swing. It's
oh
incredible.
yeah. Even if you just look batting stance on your Safari again, it's still photos, but you could see how high his damn leg is.
Oh,
It's
that's awesome.
insane.
He's like, yeah,
Oh, there it is.
he's
Yeah, good call. Yep. What were you saying, Jordan?
I was gonna say he's like a couple inches away from the ground.
Dude, and do you see the one picture where he's in the middle of the leg kick thing? His bat handle is parallel to the ground right about his right knee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Look at that. This guy was 5'9", 170 and hit 511 home runs with that stance.
he's on one leg.
Yes. And freaking incredible.
Crazy.
that's
Incredible.
insane.
He
Yeah, I don't
almost
know how he
looks.
did it. And
There's a
there's
couple
video
pictures
out
of
there.
him where if you put a glove on him and took the bat away and photoshopped it, it would look like he's pitching.
Oh my God, that's hilarious, Craig. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right. I never thought about that before, but that is perfect. You are absolutely right. Ha!
Wow,
Actually,
that's a great one.
there is a
Thanks,
thing
man.
on YouTube. It's like is like a 6 second YouTube thing, but it's called Mel batting practice swing, and yeah, you could just see.
That's the one. That's the one, and it's amazing, right?
Yeah, it's oh my god, that's insane.
Yeah, 6 seconds. Well, yep, I see it.
Holy shit!
Absolutely incredible, man. Absolutely
Oh,
incredible. Could this swing work today?
No,
Well, yeah,
probably
and
not. No,
we're never going to find out because nobody will let them try.
I,
right.
I think I agree with Craig. Like it might work as a pitching stance.
Yeah, right, right.
Oh
I'm going
my
to
Yeah,
send
god!
you the picture I'm looking at, and you tell me if that's not a pitch. If that doesn't look like a picture.
man, that's awesome because I was picturing a certain person. I couldn't think of who it was, but I'm curious to see if it's what you came up with. That's awesome.
Where is it? Hang on, just give me right here.
No,
Yeah, this one. I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
And tell me that if you can Photoshop the bat out of there and Photoshop a glove onto him, that it's not actually, it's not a pitcher's windup.
Oh, 100%.
yeah,
100%. Yeah,
A
it looks like he was
left-handed.
in the stretch and he's about to throw a slider.
Yeah, I mean that is absolutely what a pitcher looks like on the mound. Obviously throwing left-handed.
And
Yeah.
that's a great picture because you can barely see the bat, so you can really see what you're talking about, you know? That's awesome, dude. Good call. That's really cool. I love it. So
so
yeah, number 4, Mel Ott for me.
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah,
What a
I
good one.
understand why.
This guy's become like he was a guy I was that was on my radar as a kid with my old baseball card reproductions and all that. But doing all the research through all these exercises we've done, he's moved into my top 10 all-time players.
Yeah,
I'm a big Mel Ott guy
Yeah,
now.
makes sense.
I mean, this is
He's
like Jose Altuve hitting 500 home runs.
yeah.
I agree with that.
All right, that's my
Awesome.
number 4.
All
All
right,
right.
so my number 3. This is. I will not. I will admit, I did copy this one as a kid. I still
Uh-huh.
try to copy it every now and then. Um, and I swear, I'll give you the story. When I did this one, one of my little sisters thought I had to use the bathroom because I was doing this banny stance. Uh,
I think I know what it is.
so my number 3, I had to put it on Kevin Youkilis.
Yes, yes. Another one I was hoping would make a list on my big five that were outside looking in, but I love it. This is an unbelievable one.
If I have a variation, but it's the same stance, and I actually put Euclid slash this other guy,
Mm-hmm.
should I say the other guy or should I wait?
Ooh, I would. How do you think, Jordan? I think say it
It's a
now personally,
very
but I don't know. What do you think?
it's a very similar stance.
I think we should include it in this discussion personally. What do you think, Jordan?
Um, yeah, I guess we could. Why not?
Julio Franco.
Mm. That was
He
the fifth guy on my outside looking in,
yeah,
and another guy I imitated
he
a lot as a kid.
he points the bat at the pitcher over his head, just like Uke.
Yes,
In fact,
absolutely.
Euclid might have gotten his stance from Franco. Who knows? I'm just saying because it's very similar.
Absolutely, and Franco did it for a long time before Uke. You're right. And another one of the all-time worst trades for the Phillies ever. That he was in the Phillies organization, and they traded him. I don't even remember what they got for him anymore. I think it was Von. It was Von Hayes.
And yep, and another variation on the same thing, who I did not put on it, is Moises Alou.
Yes.
He does the
Now he
same
get
thing, but his knees are like
painful,
pointed in. It looks
painful
painful for
looking.
Moises Alou's stance with the way his knees and legs are, but from the waist up, it's the same.
Yes, and he gets bonus points for peeing on his hands before he grabs a bat.
Yeah. Ugh.
One of the weirdest freaking things I've ever heard in my life.
Jorge
Okay.
Posada did the same thing.
Leota Machida, an MMA guy, does it too. Former
Uh,
UFC champ.
Oh yeah, I can see with Julio Franco and Euclid how they are the same.
Yeah, they do compare for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, like Franco's legs are a little bit different. And Euclid is also kind of like it's kind of like more stand up, and also he kind of looked like again, like I said, like looked like he had to go to the bathroom or dancing or whatever like he wanted
Doing
to
a
do.
pee-pee dance, totally.
Yeah,
And
but
he
like
took it to an extreme. Like Julio's was crazy, and then Euclid said, "I'll put that on steroids."
yeah, hold my beer.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Although I
which
hate Kevin Youkilis with a passion,
Oh, I would imagine being a Yankee guy for sure.
like with an undying visceral hatred.
Oh, he's like your Chipper Jones.
He's the most annoying player that ever played baseball,
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Well, I'll see him
Other
and
than
raise you
A-Rod,
Chipper Jones.
other than A-Rod, who I also hate.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that he's one of the guys you hate and that he played for your team.
Yeah, yeah. I honestly would rather give back the '09 World Series than for him to ever be on the team.
That's so awesome. I love that. And I
Because
totally
I
understand
honestly
it.
think that whoever we would have got otherwise, we'd win more.
I love it. I'm with you. All the money that it was going to him. Yeah.
Ugh, I hated him and his stupid purple lips. Anyway,
His stupid purple lips. Yes. Oh, I love it. So yeah, man. Wow. So yes, Euclid, and now Euclid, like we said, he took this odd stance to a whole nother level, man. I mean, there's the thing where he would slide the right hand up the or wait, which hand was it? The right hand up the bat. Also,
very
before
strange.
I mean, just so much oddity to it. It's
That was,
awesome.
by the way, that's my number one.
That's a great number one. I would great number one.
yeah, no, I just found it because I like I said, I just think it was just. Oh, it's definitely one of the weirder and wacky ones
Yep,
from now, and it's just like I said, I intimidated it. I still don't know how the guy got hits. Like,
It's crazy, man. It's mind boggling that, and he was very very good. I mean, well, he was lifetime average was really good. I don't remember. I don't know it off the top of my head. I'll find it, but I mean, it's incredible that he was successful with that.
yeah,
yep,
had very successful careers.
absolutely.
Yeah, lifetime 281 hitter, lifetime OPS of 861.
That's a really good OPS. Yeah, he was clutch too.
Yep, absolutely. Great in the playoffs.
Yep,
Yep. Man, yeah,
solid player.
Euclid. Yeah, no doubt. 306 in the playoffs, by the way, and a 944 OPS to back up what you said.
Yep.
Yep.
Love it. Yeah, and no, you're not going to find you can find ones that are as weird, but you're not going to find anything weirder than Kevin Euclid.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. So what he was what your number was that 3 or 4?
Yes, that was my
3.
number 3.
Okay. Craig, you have a 3 left?
Yes. So I eliminated three guys right there with Franco, Alou, and Euclid all kind of tied for number one with a similar stance.
That's great. Yeah, that makes sense to me how you did that. I like that.
All right, but my number three is probably one of the he not probably he is one of the most unique players. So it makes the most sense that he would have a unique stance, and that is Ricky Henny.
Oh, buddy. Yep. And that was another guy on my honorable mentions because I knew he would come up and in the conversation for most effective crouch of all time.
I mean, that crouch, he would lean back so far, you think he's going to fall over.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
mean, he would lean back really far, and then, but it gave him so much momentum moving forward. It was an explosion when he swung. And if he, sometimes he would swing and then have the bat in one hand, but if he kept both hands on the bat, the way he flipped it off when he,
Yeah.
the bat, he was like the original bat flip. Uh, After he swung and like hit a home run with two hands and kept both hands on the bat, anytime he did it, it was very unique looking, very fun. But yeah, that Crouch, legendary, obviously unique guy, obviously unique stance and swing, and one of the best players of all time. And I hate when people don't mention that.
Yeah, man.
It
Clearly.
annoys me. He does not get enough credit for being a top, not just outfield, a top 10 player ever. Period.
Absolutely.
Stop.
I'm with you 100%. Yeah. No, he should be in everybody's greatest players of all time conversation every time.
Yeah, he's right there with anybody.
Absolutely.
He leads the league
Absolutely.
in all time in runs and stolen bases. Runs is how you play the game. That's what you're playing the game for is runs. He has the most of anybody.
Exactly. Exactly. Where is he first all time? Who is anybody ahead of him in walks?
I think he's like top five in walks. He's right up there, but he's not. I don't think he's number one.
Okay.
And of
Man,
course, all the
yeah.
steals, and he's got the steals marked by hundreds.
Oh, you're right. Oh, it's he's number 2 behind Barry Bonds, who
Uh,
overtook him. Yeah. Okay.
right? Okay, so there you go. Right there. Number two in walks. Number one in runs. Number one in stolen bases by a mile.
By the
And
way, real quick, Craig, Carlos Santana, the baseball player, not the guitar player, is the active leader in walks with 1,299 currently in MLB. Ricky
yep,
Henderson had 2,190.
yeah, not catching him anytime soon.
Yeah, if Santana plays until he's 73, he might catch Ricky.
Yeah, and then of course the leader in leadoff home runs. I think he had 24 leadoff home runs,
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yep.
and of course the source to some of the greatest and funniest baseball stories of all time.
Oh, yes. And
Yep.
we've delved into those. And it's, I mean, geez, we could do a whole, honestly, do a whole podcast sometime on just Ricky Henderson quotes and stories.
Yeah, the Ricky Henny podcast.
Yeah.
You got to say Henny because that's what he would say.
That's exactly right.
He always
Exactly
spoke in the
right.
third person, but he called himself Ricky Henny.
Well, when we do the podcast, we all have to speak in the third person for the entire time.
Yeah, Craig thinks Ricky Henny's in the top five of all time.
Yeah, Alan agrees. And unicorn be unicorn.
Oh my god.
But anyway,
That,
yeah. So obviously I think he's right there with anybody, and that crouching stance served him well. And it is, I don't know, it's not like crazy unique, like where it's like insane, but still, still pretty unique the way he did it and the way he went so far back with it. And to be honest, I think he influenced Don Mattingly to do a similar version.
He influenced the whole generation, and
Yeah,
it is one of the most influential batting stances of all time.
yeah.
You
Mattingly did it from the left side, obviously, but Mattingly, you can't do his swing only because he changed it every 3 weeks.
right.
Mattingly changed his stance more than anybody I've ever seen. He'd be standing straight up one for a couple months, then he'll be crouching way too low down the next couple months. I mean, he
So
did it all
funny,
the time,
man.
but there was definitely a couple seasons there where he was doing Henderson's way leaning back version.
Yeah, you go back and look at like batting stances before Ricky. There were crouchers, like we had my guy Stan Lapata, who was crouching in the 50s,
Yep.
but
Yep.
it came and went, came and went. Some guys did it, some guys had success, but nobody had more success with the crouch in the history of baseball than Ricky Henderson. Nobody.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
I agree.
Good one. Love it. And by the way, my number 3 was Jeff Bagwell. So I'm out for this round.
Ah,
Okay. Jordan, you're number 2.
uh, well, my number two, we kind of talked about him. Just because I don't think I really noticed how similar they were. Well, but my number two was actually Julio Franco.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
good. All good.
And I love that stance, man. I love Julio Franco. That guy can hit, man.
yeah.
All right. Well, then I guess I'm up for number 2.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to go with not necessarily the most unique stance, although it is kind of like a straight up and down standing stance. He didn't really crouch at all.
Uh,
But in my opinion, the greatest swing, sweetest looking swing in baseball history, and that is Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh, I
yeah,
love it. Yeah. No, that's great. Yeah, it's a
That's the
beautiful
greatest
swing,
swing
man.
in baseball history, in my opinion.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a thing of beauty.
I'd have to go look at like 1,000 batting stances to agree with you 100%. But off the top of my head, I can't think of a better one.
Yeah, and of course
yeah.
he was, super successful, and it was, kind of unique in terms of how straight up and down he was, but nothing
Oh, no
crazy.
doubt. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But nothing crazy. It's more about the swing than anything, and that was just awesome.
Oh man, I mean, just gorgeous. It's perfection in motion.
Yeah, it is exactly like in terms of somebody else, replicating that today, they would replicate that.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
that would get taught if that was somebody's preference to stand straight up and down. They'd be like, okay, you can do that because Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
Hitting
Yep.
coach approved for sure.
Yep. Another guy, straight up and down kind of too was Jeter a little bit, but
Oh,
not not
absolutely.
not as
Yeah.
pretty as not as pretty of a swing from the right side. It's better
Is it
lefty.
what? Why is it that righties can't be as cool as lefties? It doesn't
I
make
don't
any
know, but like
sense.
Will Clark also had one of the sweetest swings ever too.
No doubt. And it's always lefties with sweet swings. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Nobody talks about a righty with sweet swings, even though I'm sure there are some. But it's just funny. I don't know what it is
Well,
with the human biomechanics. Why that's so weird.
well, the judge's swings kind of. I mean,
Who's
not as smooth as Griffey and all that, but
who did you say, Jordan?
Judge.
Yeah,
It's a great swing, no doubt. I don't know
Yeah.
that, but I'm not.
he's
It's
kind of
funny
got the
because
Jeff.
just
Yeah, he's kind of got the Jeff Bagwell too. He's bent at the knees severely.
it's hard to look as smooth as Griffey when you're bent that far.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
It's certainly as effective, if not more.
Yeah.
Man, that's fascinating. It's just interesting because you think if notice that from now on forward, nobody ever talks about the sweet swing of a righty. Nobody.
No, no one ever does ever.
Yep. It's funny. I don't know why. It's just one of those things.
Yep. Ted Williams too, also considered a sweet swing.
Oh, absolutely. The splendid splinter. Yeah.
Yep. So there's
Beautiful.
my number 2.
Love it, man. My number 2 was Rod Carew. And
Oh.
we're starting the rhyming portion of the podcast. My number 2 is Rod Carew. Jordan, to you.
well, my number one was Batista.
Okay. Did you have a number one left, Craig?
No, my number one was Franco.
Oh, it was the yes, that's right. Okay, cool, cool, cool.
Franco Euclid Alou ///.
Yes, yes, et al. That's awesome. So, okay. So, obviously, my number one did not make any of your lists, and I'm curious to see if he made honorable mentions. But let me tell you this growing up where I did in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is close to Philly, and being a fan of the team that I was a fan of, there is no other one that could have been number one, and there was no other. I saw everybody was imitating this in my area for 2 decades, and my baseball, little league baseball fields, backyards, at the park, everywhere, and that is the hip wiggle, the butt wiggle, whatever you want to call it, of Mike Schmidt.
Mike Schmidt. Let's see what we got. I'm going to call it up.
So he called it. We all called it a butt wiggle when we were kids, but he calls it a hip dance with the pitcher. I think it sounds like he's trying, like almost like a snake charmer, like he's trying to kind of go with it with the pitcher, and then he settles in as the pitcher starts his delivery. But it was this slow sort of, he would wiggle back and forth, and then it would slowly settle down, and then the butt cheeks would tighten up a little bit, and he'd park one.
Well, that's one
Yep.
way to describe it.
Yep.
And right there with Ricky Henderson for some of the, and Mel Ott for most effective stances on my list.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, I'm seeing it.
You seeing it?
Yeah.
I mean, he would really get going, man. He was hip dance. He just wiggle, wiggle. Just, you know what it looks like? Actually, it's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. Who's
Yep.
that character from the guy from Rocky that was in the Adam Sandler movie?
Oh,
Chubbs.
yeah.
Guy who
Uh,
got his arm or hand eaten off by the alligator.
yeah.
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers. R.I.P. Count Carl Weathers.
Yes, it's all in the hips, baby. And it was for Mike Schmidt. Do you see this, Jordan? Are you finding it at all?
Yeah, I see it.
Oh yeah, you gotta love a little Schmitty wiggle.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's pretty funny. I was watching a different clip.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, there's some good ones out there that really break it down. There's some out there that put it to music.
So yeah,
And Schmidt,
that's a good number one, man.
yeah, right on. Because I knew I was questionable whether he would make either of your lists anyway, and I know he didn't, obviously, but I knew he wouldn't be number one for anybody but a Philly fan, and
Right,
but he
right.
had to be number one for me.
Makes sense. Hey, here's something off topic. If we're not, unless we're not done with Mike Schmidt,
No, no, no. I am. If anybody else has anything to say, please feel free. But I'm good.
I wanted to ask you guys your opinion on Pete Rose being reinstated with Shoeless Joe Jackson.
I am so excited about it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Jordan.
uh, I got the news, and I think I jumped on my thing because it's long overdue.
Absolutely, but there are people who are dead set against it.
Oh sure, yeah.
And not even old fogies either. Like I got a couple of not like casual baseball fans, but baseball fans at work, and they're like, "What the hell are they doing? This is a joke." Like
Yeah,
they're
and there
like
are
in their
some. I saw
30s.
some articles written too that people don't like it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
whatever. It's listen. There were. I've heard less on that side of the equation than on our side of the equation for the last 30 years. You know what I mean?
right,
The only thing that sucks about it is that it happened, and the commissioner came out and said the reason we're doing this now is because Pete Rose is dead.
right. They're doing it to spite him because he specifically said he didn't want it if they were going to wait for him after he was dead. So they hate him so much that they did this.
Wow. So
Yeah.
while I love that he's finally going to be able to get in, it kind of sickens me the approach that they took to doing it.
Yeah,
But at least it's finally happening.
right, right.
Yeah. I've heard both sides. Because I've heard people say, like, he's a disgraced human being, and
Well,
Something
apparently there's
happened.
a lot of bad stories about it. Like he was not a good guy at all. Not that that matters, but
Right.
there's some horror stories about him.
Oh, he was a maniac, and
Yeah,
absolute, and just a jerk. Like, he made it impossible. As much as it should have been relatively easy, just to say it's a baseball decision, just make him eligible. He was such a dick that it made it very hard for any human being to just be like, I'm going to ignore what a maniac he's being and just do this. You know what I mean?
Right. Well,
So,
he and plus he lied for 30 years about it.
oh yeah, he
That
lied.
that I mean, if he had admitted it right off the bat, he might have gotten in like 20 years or whatever, or at least while he was still alive. But the fact that he lied for 30 years made it even worse.
I completely agree. Plus, every year while he's not getting into the Hall of Fame, he's setting up right down the block, selling his autographs and making a show out of it. You know what I mean? Like, he was a very hard man to get along with and to like. But none of that matters when it comes to the. So was Ty Cobb, and he's been in the Hall of Fame since 1936.
Right, right.
right. Yeah,
Oh,
I agree.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, Ty Cobb didn't bet on the game though. That's another thing.
yeah, but
no doubt.
when you see people who back then agreed with the commissioner did absolutely change their mind, that should tell you something right there. You had there's been quotes of Johnny Bench who's played with Pete Rose said that he shouldn't be in, and then the news comes out and Johnny Bench said I sat there and thought about it and he definitely should.
Right.
Yeah,
you
right.
know you had people who did that, and most of the people who have changed their mind and said that is because they said it should be about what he did on the field. Like, yes, he gambled, but you know what? And maybe I'll cause a stir. I don't know. But if you're saying that Pete Rose, shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because of what he did, he gambled. Okay, then no offense. You have Shohei Ohtani's interpreter who gambled, and MLB was quickly enough to say, "Well, Shohei Ohtani didn't do it." How do we know?
No, I'm
Yeah,
sure he did do it, and they covered it up.
Exactly. So
I'm
that's the case. Then
100% sure that was
Shohei Ohtani.
Otani.
Let's
it
say if it's true, then Shohei Ohtani should be in the Hall of Fame. Then
Well, no, then he shouldn't if it's true.
you
absolutely.
that's
It's
it.
it's really weird in the modern day of OnlyFans and all these different, or not only, that's one of the betting sites, right?
No, that's the porn site.
That's I knew that didn't sound right when it came out of my mouth.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh, that's so funny, man.
FanDuel
FanDuel, that's the one I was trying to think of. Thank you.
and DraftKings.
DraftKings, all that stuff that we're still even talking about. You know what I mean? Like it's half the NBA got caught betting the other year. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
but
it's
they all got suspended.
they did, but you'd think they're catching everybody, man. Like you can get on your phone right now and gamble all day long, 24/7, legally by everybody that's not playing a professional sport. There's no chance they're catching everybody. That ship is they let that dog out of the cage, man.
Well, I think that's probably why they one of the reasons why they lifted the ban.
I think so too, because it seems insane now in this day and age when gambling is completely legal to still be holding it against old Pete. So yeah, now there's another angle of this thing that I want to mention too, because you have 16 or 17 other guys. It's a total of 17, including Pete, I think.
Yeah, something like that. There's 9 on the Black Sox.
Yeah, most of them were Black Sox. The majority of them were Black Sox. But there's one. Check this one out. Did anybody happen to read the story of Benny Koff?
No,
Okay. Now, old Benny Koff. Check this out. Now, this is how ridiculous some of this stuff gets sometimes. Benny Koff, by the way, is the only person on this entire list that the ban had nothing to do with gambling. Here's the story. Koff was the first player to be banned from baseball for a reason other than working with gamblers to fix outcomes. He was accused of stealing a car, repainting it, and selling it with his brother in December of 1919. So far he's accused of auto theft. All right. Hardly worth a lifetime ban, even if true. Now, here's the rest. Though he denied the charges, which means nothing, and a jury acquitted him, he received a lifetime ban from baseball.
Really?
Yes, and on top of that, guys, in the 8 years he was allowed to play before he was banned, he had 3,094 at bats and batted 311 with a 450 slugging percentage. They might have banned a Hall of Famer for something he didn't do.
Wow, that's nuts.
That's
Wow.
sad and gross. So that guy, to me, I want him in before anybody else on this list. They should, a whole flux of them are going to go in 1 year, I hope. But I
Yeah.
mean, that's insane.
That is crazy.
How that didn't come to light before is
Yeah, I didn't even know about it.
I never heard of it either. I never. If I'm sure I saw in passing a list of band players somewhere in my baseball fandom, but never saw the story. Probably just assumed he was another Black Sox or whatever. You know what I mean? And for him to be lumped in that category is crazy.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. So I wanted to shine some light on Benny Koff because he did not deserve his fate, and he deserved to be able to play baseball a lot longer than he did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Benny Koff.
Well, yeah, I just wanted you guys' opinion on it. So I'm
I'm
glad
glad you brought
we
that up, man. It's a big thing. Big thing.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. I think he deserves it. I think it's gonna be hard though because he's not on the writers.
No,
Um,
he's gonna have to go through the legends, the committee there, the whatever that committee's called.
yeah, what I think it's this stupid because that's more hard to get in because you need 12 out of the 16 votes to have people um to be able to get in.
Well, the thing is, once he's declared eligible and he's got 4,000. He's got the most hits in baseball. Why would more than four people say no?
I mean, we are talking. Are these writers? Who is on this committee?
So it's Hall of Fame players, managers,
Okay,
and executives.
that's a lot better. He's got. He's going to get in. He's going to get in. Then I would bet.
Yeah, but I mean that's what people did with Bonds and Clemens, and they received 4 votes, which is less than
Well,
25%.
people haven't forgiven them. They weren't suspended for life and then put back in.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
which is that's the thing for me. That's another thing. Is like people are saying like, oh, Rose deserves to get in. Then so do these guys. No, they cheated the game while they were playing.
Yeah, no, I
They
I I am with them not putting them in. I'm glad
yeah.
that the
you know
steroids guys are not in.
It's. I'm with both of you guys. It's a tricky dance though because we know anyone that tested and or admitted done,
Well, but the thing is, David Ortiz did, and he got in,
and he shouldn't have.
and he shouldn't have. And they never mention it with him because people like him. That's
Exactly.
the only reason. He's a
No,
likable guy, so they don't say anything.
completely agree.
But that
And then
list,
we all
your
and
list, he's on that list.
yes.
Yeah.
And we give passes to a lot of people in that era that and justifiably so because they didn't fail a test, but there was some of these guys played 10, 15 years before testing, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and we don't know, so it's just it makes that whole freaking era gray. It stinks.
right. Yeah. But in my mind, I think Pete Rose should be in. I think Jackson should be in as well because
Easily,
he
easily.
was yeah. Um, so I think those two really should get in, and yeah, I think it's like you said, like everyone has like the stories on, but yeah, yes, we have people who are terrible human beings in the Hall of Fame, but when you go into the Hall of Fame, like I don't know, I don't think of, oh, this guy did this 50 years ago. I think of what he did on the field.
And that's what it should be. I'm with you. It's not the hall of great human behavior,
No,
you
no,
know.
no. It's definitely not. There's
It's
plenty
it's
of
all
criminals. There's
it's the
criminals
hall
and
of fame.
racists and all that stuff with people on there. So that part shouldn't matter, and it doesn't. I don't think with Pete. With Pete, it's just whether they're the only problem he's going to have if he has a problem at all is going to be people. Even if with him being reinstated, just like kind of Bonds and Clemens, where they don't forgive him. And
Right.
that's all there is to it.
Yes,
You bet on
absolutely.
you bet on games. It was illegal, and you were the manager, which means if you had a lot of money on a game, maybe you blew your bullpen out trying to save the game. To the detriment of the team.
Yes.
Like I put extra money on this game, and we should win. But wait, we're in trouble. I got to get the bullpen. I got to make sure I win this game. You know, even though we got 100 more games to go.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely. He was in an influenceable position while he was betting on games, no doubt. Now he claimed for a long time, and I don't know if this ever story ever changed. Tell me.
Apparently, this is true. He bet only on the Reds to win.
Okay, that's where I was heading. Yes. Okay. So, and that that is matters too, but still, it's just a I don't know, man. I see both sides of it. I do, but to me, it's about baseball. Put him in.
Absolutely, I agree. I'm just saying the people that don't
You're right.
vote for him, they're just going to be they don't forgive him, and whether he's in or eligible or not, they're not going to vote for him. Kind of like Clemens and Bonds, they're eligible, and people are like, screw them. We're not putting them in.
No doubt. And it's like, do we know? Is there a way to find out who the exact 16 members of that committee are? Is that information out? I'm not talking about right this second. I don't want our listeners to listen to that dead air. But do we know, Jordan or Craig?
I don't know.
I
I
think
don't know
all
it off.
I think all 16 have been.
What is
Uh,
that committee called? I always forget the name of it.
Jordan knows.
the they're calling it the classic uh ball or classic ball committee or something like that.
Yeah, it's what used to be the Veterans Committee, but
Right,
they've
right. I was thinking of Veterans Committee. There you go.
yeah, yep. Um, Yeah, so I'm going to look into who's on it because that matters, because like it's funny, Pete was so polarizing. He was polarizing on his own team. There was a faction on the Reds. There was the Joe Morgan and Pete Rose faction, and there was the Johnny Bench and Tony Perez faction. And when Joe Morgan showed up on the Reds after getting traded by the Astros, he was told you are either friends with Johnny Bench or you're friends with Pete Rose. You're not friends with both.
Wow.
I never knew that until doing the research for this, because when I found out doing the research on Morgan's arm flap, but I never knew that. But that was interesting to me.
Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah, Pete
Yeah,
had a polarizing personality, even as a player. You will never find Joe Morgan saying a negative word about him.
yeah,
Wow.
But Johnny Bench has had plenty negative to say,
yeah. But then, like I said, he was on. He did an interview
and he
recently.
turned around right after
Yeah,
all
and
this
he
time.
said
Yep.
he said I would. He said he needs to be in.
And and that's the stance I take. So yeah, I can't wait to see what happens. When is the first round? When will that happen?
I think in like one December of 2020. It's either 26 or 27.
Okay, so it's a year or two. Okay,
Yeah.
so all right. Well, we're
Well, him
definitely
and
going to have to do a
Shoeless
pot on the
Joe.
results of that.
Him and Shoeless Joe are locks or should be locks.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Here you go. So the list includes Eddie Cote or C. I don't know how you pronounce that name. I never heard of him. Uh, Happy Flesh. Never heard of him. Chick Gandil, Shoeless Joe Jackson, Fred McMullen, Swide Reisberg, Buck Weaver, Lefty Williams, Joe Guidon, uh, Gene Paulette, yeah, Paulette, Benny Koff, which you said, Al,
Hmm.
uh, Lee McGee, Phil Douglas, Cozy Dillon, uh, Jimmy O'Connell, and William Cox, along with P. Rose.
And and honestly, the only two names I knew before this list came out were Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Yep.
Yep.
So I'm
And
gonna have to look into these other guys and see if there's any good cases out there.
Field of Dreams taught us that Shoeless Joe Jackson was innocent.
Right, that's right. Oh, that's awesome.
But he wasn't completely innocent. He took their money, but the Field of Dreams take on it was he might have taken their money, but there's no proof that he actually tried to throw the games because I guess he batted like 400, 450 or something in the series, hit the only
Yeah.
home run in the series, and did not commit one error.
Yeah, that's
How's
it's
he
yeah,
how's he throwing the games?
exactly. There's another really interesting case too on that team that I thought was interesting, and that's Buck Weaver. Now, this is the little thing I found about Buck. This is an interesting one. Weaver did not participate in fixing the 1919 World Series, but he did not. He also did not report his teammates after learning of their plan. He turned down the money to play poorly and hit 324 in the World Series, 272 lifetime batting average. So he was obviously trying, but was banned anyway for not speaking up. And he played for 9 years and applied for reinstatement 6 times after his ban. None succeeded. All this guy did was not rat out his teammates.
That's crap.
I agree.
That is. Yeah.
I completely agree.
That's
So
total crap.
there are some dudes on this list that absolutely deserve their ban and frankly are lucky they're back. But there are a few guys that you're like, what in the hell were they ever even doing on this list? And Buck and Koff are two guys right there that jump off the page. Like, what in the hell were they doing?
I
They
agree.
they were doing nothing wrong, is what they were doing.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. They were getting in trouble for doing nothing.
I
Man.
agree.
So yeah, that's awesome. Good stuff, man. That's a great call bringing that up. That's a really fun conversation, and that's going to be one hell of a pod when they finally get that first vote.
Yes, we
Yep.
definitely. All right.
Now, I have a couple more minutes if we want to hit a couple honorable mentions real quick before we stop.
Oh crap! Yeah.
I
Yes,
have
we could
so
do.
many. I'm not going to hit them all, but the big one, there were a few massive ones that I thought were going to make everybody's list, and the only one that didn't was Cal Ripken.
Well, I had him in the. I had another slash
Oh, he
with
was on the slash too. Okay,
with
right on,
with
right
with
on.
with, with Jeter and Griffey in terms of the standing up stance because he kind of stood up too.
Yeah, Cal, the man of 1,000 stances, man. I mean, I don't know if any. You talked about Mattingly, and he certainly did it a lot. I don't know that anybody changed their stance more than Cal Ripken. He's I found some articles that called him the man of 1,000 stances.
Yeah. So at one
Yeah.
point or another, he was standing straight up.
Yep.
Yes,
Wasn't there like another one where he's like kind of crouched down and he was like he had the bat and he was like moving it up and down on his shoulders?
yeah, the violin stance.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say. Yep.
Yep, they call it the violin because it looks like he's using a bow on a violin. It's crazy.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's a YouTube video on that thing. It's crazy, man. Yeah, but Cal, I mean, you could spend all day, you could spend months talking about Cal Ripken's batting stances. He went through dozens a season sometime.
Yeah.
One of the
Which.
biggest tweakers of all time.
Yep. Yeah. That's a good one. I like that.
Right on. Right on. I'm looking to see if any other ones I had didn't get mentioned, and I only have one other one that on the whole freaking thing that didn't get mentioned. That's great. And that is one of the most extreme low crouches ever. And if you know it, you know it. Great. If you don't, pull it up real quick. Phil Plantier.
Oh yeah, I know it.
Jordan, do you have any? This would be before your time, obviously, but you know your baseball so well. I wouldn't put it past you.
It sounds familiar. I think I gotta look it up.
Yeah, check
Uh,
this out, dude. There's one of his butt facing the camera that is
Oh
absolutely
yes, yes.
priceless.
I know Phil Planter. Yep.
It looks like he's pooping in the woods. I mean, he got about as low as anybody. And the thing that is makes his crouch somewhat unique among the crouches is his feet are closer together than most. Like my guy Stan Lapata, his feet were really wide apart. Phil Plantier's feet are fairly close together, only like shoulder width. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's a pretty good extreme crouch.
I had an honorable mention
Uh,
of an extreme crouch.
Oh yeah, hit me.
Mo Vaughn.
Oh my god, yeah. And that's a big
yes,
man to get down in that spot, man.
Yeah, a large man to be able to get that low, but he crouched for sure. And
For
same
sure.
story as a lot of the other ones. He just tried it one time, it worked, and he stuck with it.
Yeah, man.
yep.
He put about as much torque on his swing as anybody.
Another violent kind of a swing.
Yeah, he was like a lefty Sheffield in that regard. Yes. Yes. And there's a YouTube guy who made a video about batting stances, and I can't remember. I thought I wrote his name down. I can't find it,
Oh,
unfortunately.
are you talking about the batting stance guy?
No, that's yeah. I know who you're talking about, and he's awesome. That dude's amazing. He puts his stuff all over the place. He did one of the There's one out there for Phillies fans. He did one where he went through the entire 1980 World Series winner Phillies roster, and he does Schmitty. He does Bake McBride. If anybody remembers Bake McBride, I mean, this guy knows his stuff. It's incredible. But the one I'm talking about is a guy who just has a couple YouTube videos just celebrating great, weird, fun batting stances. And he coined a term that I can't believe I've never heard before, which he said that I forget which one he was talking. I think it was Phil Plantier he was talking about when he said, "I can't believe this guy's nickname wasn't Oscar the Crouch." I can't believe I've never heard that before. It's great, and I wish I could give the guy the credit he deserves. But if he happens to hear this, he'll know who he is.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that's the last one on my list. If anybody else has anybody else they want to talk about,
I got two more. Just
boom.
because I always thought they were. I don't know. They were just. I always like the feet at least. One of them. Well, one of my honorable mentions was Curtis Granderson.
Oh yes.
Love
You
Curtis.
know, just how I don't know. Like it was just so weird how his feet was down. And then here's another guy. We're talking about a crouch guy. Here's another one. Alfonso Soriano.
Yeah, pretty
Oh,
unique. Yep.
Just again, I don't understand how these people don't have back problems.
love it. Love it. And did he use an extremely long bat or
Oh,
did it just look that way?
he used an extremely heavy bat.
Maybe
He had
that's why.
the heaviest bat in the majors while he was playing.
No kidding.
Yeah, I don't know the exact ounces, but it was really heavy.
Interesting. That's cool. That's cool.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
those are good ones, man.
it wasn't long enough because if you pitched him low and away, he couldn't swing. He couldn't resist the swing. I don't know why he saw any pitches other than low and away. He swung at that every time and struck out so many damn times.
Oh, that's so awesome, man. It wasn't long enough. That's a line of the day.
uh,
Craig, did you have anything else you wanted to hit?
Um, talked about Mo Vaughn. No, I had David Ortiz, but then I crossed him off because his leg kick's there. It's kind of a leg kick, but it's not that extreme. It's not that interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dig it, dig it. And he's David Ortiz, so why give him any more pub?
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of, you know what? I'm gonna do an honorable mention off the bat. Uh, Dustin Pedroia.
Oh, that's a good one too.
That is a good one.
Like just how his batting stance was. That was definitely a little.
Didn't they
Uh,
call him Pee Wee?
oh my God! Have you ever heard the story of that or
Isn't
no?
that
No.
what David Ortiz like would call him because he didn't know his name?
Yes. So Al, listen to this, right? So I found this on social media. They were doing something, and Dustin Pedroia is saying something about David Ortiz or something. So every time David Ortiz saw him, he'd be like, "Hey, what's up? What's up, Pee Wee?" So Dustin Pedroia would be like, "Okay, it's cool," and he's like, just acknowledge him. So he's like, one time we're playing a game, and the PA announcer goes, "Now batting number 15, Dustin Pedroia." He goes, "So that we get on and I get out, I come on, I come into the clubhouse, and David Ortiz goes, 'What did the PA announcer just call you?' He's like, 'Dustin Pedroia.' He's like, 'Your name is Dustin Pedroia?' He's like, 'Yes.' He goes, 'I thought your name was Pee Wee.'"
What in the world?
So Dustin Pedroia has the most awesome answer. He goes, and I'm gonna swear here. He goes, "You honestly think my parents were gonna fucking name me Pee Wee?"
I never heard that one before. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
so I'm like, okay, David Ortiz was not good with names.
Oh man! Wow, wow. Yeah, that's all. That's almost Ricky Henderson esque. It reminds me of the
Well,
old road story. You know.
wasn't that like the second or third season playing together too?
Yeah, they've been playing.
I think it
Yeah,
was. I think
they
they
were
were
together
together for a
for a
couple
while.
years.
He'd already heard his name announced over the PA system thousands of times at that point. Four
Yeah.
times a game for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so funny, man. Wow.
Yeah. It was. Oh, that's something.
That's a good one, man. I hadn't heard that. That's great.
Yeah. Oh man, that was fun.
the baseball lore.
Dude. Yeah, that's right, man. That is right. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh, 100%. Oh, all right. Well, that was fun. I enjoyed that. That was definitely one of the most. Well, I would say one of the most. It was definitely the fun we ever had talking about batting stances.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, um, let's say you guys want to do the pitching next because that should be fun.
Oh yeah, the yes, absolutely. That's gonna be great,
The
man. I can't
pitching
wait.
windups.
Pitching windups,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, I got a
I think
couple people in mind already, and
you know
I
what,
can't wait to see where it's gonna go from there.
Al. I was thinking the same thing.
Oh,
Yep.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, there's some
Uh,
stuff for sure that's gonna be on this list, and I we'll see what else falls around it. But yeah.
yeah, right.
One more thing from
Hmm.
me. And Al, we've mentioned this. I don't know if me and Jordan we've talked about it, but either way, I'm sure you're well aware. Um, Al, at the beginning of the year, we were wondering about the Mets and if their pitching lab would work.
Oh my God,
It's still working.
it's
Yep.
crazy.
They have the best ERA in baseball.
I can't believe it, man. I
They
can't
put
believe
they
it.
made
Well,
Griffin Canning relevant.
yeah.
I, I
Look
thought
at
I thought that was impossible. His ERA before this season, I think, is like was like 4.7 something,
no, it was up in the fives.
Yeah,
dude.
Clay Holmes has not given up a home run at all this year.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know. I don't
amazing.
know what they're doing over there, but it is absolutely working.
Yep.
It's astonishing. It really is. I can't. I it blows my mind because they are taking people off the street and making them not just serviceable but good.
Really good. Yeah, like I said, best ERA in baseball.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jordan, what we did is at the beginning of the year when we did our preview. I don't know if you were there
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah. I was there with you.
Yeah,
We.
so you remember me saying that about the lab?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry. I thought it was just me now. But yeah,
Yeah.
that lab, I don't get it. What they've unlocked.
Dude. I mean, Griffin Canning's career ERA, even with this season factored in, is 4.60.
Yep.
His ERA right now is 2.36.
Yep.
What
And
I
they're
mean,
only,
that's
and if it's working now, they're only gonna get better when Manaya comes back.
Yep.
I can't wait to see if this is sustainable. It's mind boggling. Listen, and
Well,
I'll tell you what.
it's been a
Vic,
year and what, 2 months, and it's
but it's
working.
been it's been only 2 months of Griffin Canning. So, and by the way, a 1.262 WHIP, which is what he has right now, does not equal 2.36 ERA by the end of the season.
No.
So I don't know, man. It's fascinating. I mean, we are like you said, we're a year and almost half a season in, and it's going incredibly well. So
Well, yeah, and it might, I don't know, it might help them out a lot. I mean, I still think like bullpen and hitting wise, they might need help. But when you look at
They're
like a team like
starters.
like yeah, like the Dodgers, like they have the most used bullpen ever, and we're only in May.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the thing, go ahead.
No, I was saying, and I think in the long run that will hurt the Dodgers because I'm gonna give credit to another MLB guy, Dan Flesack. Um, they did this last year. Now they're struggling, and the bullpen at least. We're in May, and it almost ruined their chances last year because the Padres were so close to eliminate them in the playoffs.
Yep.
And the
Counting on
same thing,
sustained bullpen success for any team is very difficult.
Right.
they
Even the
they
Mets are not being able to do that. They're doing it with their starters.
Yeah,
right, and
year to year bullpen success is so hard to predict. That's why the Mariano Rivera's are the Mariano Rivera. There's no plural about it. Is so special.
Right.
right, yeah,
Um, but that philosophy of buying, hitting, and getting bargain basement starting pitching is working.
yeah,
So far,
They don't
yeah,
believe in paying pitchers. They've come out and said it. We don't pay
yeah.
pitchers.
No, it's fascinating, man. I can't wait to see because I mean, now even with that pitching success, we didn't, we didn't win a World Series. So let's. But man, I don't know, man. I just can't imagine. There is nobody in the history of the game that has ever been able to sustain success with mediocrity for very long. Even LaRussa and Duncan didn't turn Bob Welsh into a two-time Cy Young winner. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
right.
if they do it for more than a couple of years, it's going to be the first time in the history of baseball anybody be able to do something like this. So I just have a hard time believing it's going to last. But early returns are good.
Yeah. I mean, it worked the entire season already. I don't know. I don't get it. They've got to figure out what they're doing and then watch everybody just start imitating them.
Yeah, right.
Who's their pitching coach? What? I can't think of his name.
Oh, it's oh damn it. I know it, but
Hold on, let me look it up.
I'm looking it up too.
It's isn't it Mark something?
Is it Jeremy Hefner? Jeremy Hefner, I
That's not.
believe.
Oh, I'm on roster. That's not gonna help me. Oh, you're close. It's Jerry. No. Oh yeah,
It
no,
is
it is
Jeremy
Jeremy.
Hefner.
It
Yeah,
is Jeremy Hefner. Yep.
I was looking at the wrong Jeremy. I was looking at Jeremy Barnes.
Is Dave Island on their team on their staff as well? Dave Island is their bullpen coach. I remember on the Yankees. He sucked.
So what the hell? Like, what is happening over there? I mean, Dave or this the pitching coach
That
whose name I can't remember. Jeremy
who
Hefner is not.
would you say was the bullpen coach?
Dave Island.
No, he's not. It's
Oh,
Jose.
they fired him. I'm sorry, they fired Dave Island.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe that was the key to their success, Craig.
No,
Right.
look, wait. Listen to this. Actually, listen to this. This is their roster and staff. So obviously, Carlos Mendoza is the manager. John Gibbons is the bench coach. Danny Barnes is whoever the hell his strategy coach is. Jeremy Barnes is a hitting coach. So is Eric Chavez. Pitching coach is Jeremy Hefner. Then you have uh, the third base coach, first base coach doesn't really matter. Jose Rosario. Yeah, they got like really the interesting coaching staff.
Yeah.
Well, Hefner's only 39 years old, and apparently also coached the Twins.
Okay.
Wait a second. I'm just trying to find a track record here. You know what I mean? He joined the Twins. Oh wait, he joined the Twins after retiring as a player as an advanced scout. and then was promoted to assistant pitching coach for the 2019 season, and then was hired to be the pitching coach after that for the Mets. So there's no track record. He's a new guy trying his maybe I don't know if he's the one that's in charge of this whole approach or if there's somebody behind the scene. I don't know. But
It,
we're gonna have to learn more about it because this is it's too far in and going too well to keep ignoring it.
The Mets pitching lab.
yep.
Fascinating.
Oh yeah.
I love it. Yeah,
It
it's a
is.
great topic of conversation for real.
I didn't want it to work, but it is.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It blows my mind.
I'm gonna get a first hand account to be able to see it tonight with Griffin Canning on the mound for the Mets against the Yankees today.
Oh, right on. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, I can't wait to hear about that because this I mean Canning was awful his whole
Yep.
career.
ERA over
So,
6.
yeah, it's insane. So, the fact that he's doing what he's doing now is astonishing.
Yeah, I mean,
And
even
even
Sean Manaea last year. Sean Manaea was a nice pitcher, but last year he was an ace.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know, you turn good pitchers into aces. You turn bad pitchers into good pitchers.
I it's
Yep.
it's it's fascinating, man. I can't wait to see. Can't wait to see how where we're what we're talking about by the end of the season or a year or two from now. Because it's sure a heck of a start. You know, they
Yep.
are. I don't remember anything like this since Dave Duncan and Tony La Russa.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right on, gentlemen. Anything else?
That's all
Uh,
I got.
That's awesome. Good stuff, man.
yeah, I think that's all it for me too. Like I said, this has been fun. We'll do pictures next time.
It's gonna be
Uh,
a blast.
that's I think that's gonna be fun, and that's gonna be a few laughs right there.
Definitely,
Yes.
definitely.
And yeah, so we'll do that next. But like I said, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Also, for anyone listening, go check out Perks Recap with Craig as he does music reactions. He also does Yankee series recaps after every series, which is that's a lot of fun. So go check that out.
Really cool. They've
Yeah,
been catching fire. Love it.
Yeah, for
yeah,
some reason I don't know why.
Freaking
and
awesome.
then go check out Al. I think episode 1 just premiered the other day of Bring Them Out season 2 with him and
Yes,
Joel.
we are back.
Yes, that was. I'm not gonna lie, just 30 minutes of just laughing was kind of funny.
Oh, I
I didn't
appreciate
realize
that
the
very
first
much, my
episode
man.
was out. It's out?
Yeah, it came out Wednesday, correct? Yep,
Oh, I'll
Yep,
check it out for sure.
yep. And
yep,
just a little heads up to the listeners. Our producer wasn't available for the first couple episodes, so our audio, while completely listenable, as Jordan will tell you, is a little off from our usual standard. But we will be back to our normal standard by episode 4 or 5, I believe. But
Okay.
it's just awesome to be back talking with my buddy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
yep. So go check those 2 pods out. A lot of fun. Go show your support to them, and yeah, we'll see you guys for the pitching. And I'm gonna sign off, and I will see you all in the next one.